Hello guys. Before we get started with the actual stream, I want to stall off just for a little bit because I want people to respond to the poll. And the reason why I'm asking is because, it looks like so far it's overwhelmingly the Luke story. The reason why I'm asking is because I got the part 2 completed for the story. I didn't release it yet for the birthday event, and they released today, I believe, one extra event for the story. However, I don't want to do a video for it because it's like literally one story and it'd be like 10 minutes. I don't think that's worth your time. And so the poll's purpose is to see, should I focus on doing Evangelion today or should I do the birthday story? That's the plan going forward. Actually, once I gotta change something in my lights on. Give me like 2 seconds here. It's been a weird day. Okay. Alright, there we go. Light wasn't in my face. Okay. Okay, so let me just show you guys a couple quick things while people are still voting. I want to give her a chance to come in here to express their opinions on the matter. So let me show you guys something here. Okay, so there was here, I'll point face here. So you know that new Geass game coming out? I don't know if you guys are aware of it or not. Not Janissary Code that already came out. This new mech game. So there's like a bunch of videos they released. Let me go through these real quick. This one is the most interesting. So if you watch it here, there's a see Lelouch, this new guy. I guess they're friends, and then it has like new animations, and it's back to the same story. There's a new nightmare frame. I don't know if you saw that. Whatever this is, I'm not sure what the generation or the model's name. Back to the Glane, and then it shows a new nightmare frame here. And hold on. One more cool thing I saw. It's very hard to, whatever this is, it's some new nightmare frame. I think that guy pilots it, so we got some more information about the game coming up. So I thought you might find that interesting while I'm stalling out for people to vote. So I thought it'd be kind of cool. Here's another one that came out. I think this is more of just the story images. I don't think there's anything new in this one. Nope, okay. This is more footage, again, kind of what you saw there. Introducing this new nightmare frame. I think the registration just started for the game too. So there's that. One other thing too that I saw, and I'll go over it I guess later on, but in case you guys are curious, there was a Janissary Code announcement. It was in honor of that looks familiar. It was in honor of Lelouch's birthday, and they hold on, where's their channel? I don't mind seeing my videos here, but I should have had it up. 1 second. Okay, here's our channel. There was, get this out of the way. Yeah, there was this new announcement for Geass. It was basically, the idea was they were gonna have like a birthday event for Lelouch. They were gonna show all the things that people, I guess, posted on Twitter in honor of his birthday, and that was kind of cool, I guess. But here's what I found most interesting: if this ad ever stops playing. 2 seconds here. Okay, no, one more. Awesome. Come on. Okay. So during the event, they were going over. There's some new code links. There's a new character, which is Lelouch of the birthday. Is that an event? It's called Lelouch of the birthday. Yeah, I'm trying to get this, by the way, in the game. I might actually be like going in and out with my Janissary Code gameplay, which is I'll show you where it is. I'm basically I'm farming for cakes so I can buy that. In case you're wondering like why I might be doing some other stuff in the meantime. Anyhow. So during this presentation, they showed a new feature that's coming out in the game. I don't know how I feel about it, but I mean, maybe it'll be good. Where is it? Come on, you can show it. Yes. All right, there's gameplay, whatever. I'm looking at it. Yeah, it's called The Room. So basically, you can now go to a room in the game and you can unlock like posters and stuff, and the characters can interact with it. I don't know to the extent of what this means for the game itself. It seems very cosmetic, but it looks kind of cool, so something to look forward to. I am kind of disappointed they're not interacting with the items, like how fun it would be if C2 actually lays on the bed like she does in the story, or maybe Lelouch plays at a piano, I'm not sure, but plays or sits there or something. So you can move stuff around, which is cool, but the question is, if people can't interact with the furniture, does it really matter how the room looks? So it's one of those things where I'm not sure what this is going to be like going forward, and also can you control which characters come into it and how many can come into it. It looks like it's pretty early. It's also in Siege World too, because you can see the moon in the background. So I guess while you're saving the world, you can hang out in this room, I guess. I'm not sure what I think about that, but yeah, these are two things that were happening over the last couple of days, in case you were wondering. Okay, so back to my face. Let's check the poll real quick. How are we doing here? Okay, so we got 83% of people want to... We got 6 votes, which is... It's about a majority of the people who usually tend, who wanted me to do the Lelouch story, and 70 for Evangelion. Okay, so I'll do the Lelouch story after I go over the episodes, and I'll do Evangelion tomorrow. Probably like a similar video to what I did with the Shonen Showdown video. I'll do something like that. I'll just talk in front of the camera, give you my honest thoughts about it. I will say, though, as a general thing about Evangelion, I didn't realize how much Geass took from Evangelion. It's crazy to me. Not just like the Ragnarok connection versus the Third Impact. I mean, just everything. Character designs, the design, the way the mechs work, small little details of how the story starts, certain undertones, it's relation among characters. Whoa. I didn't realize how much Geass took from Evangelion, which is gonna make a fun video when I get around to it. So on the poll here, it looks like it's pretty definitive what you guys want me to talk about. So we'll hang out for a little bit, reading some comments, and then we will actually get into the video discussions. Oh, and actually, one more thing, I promise. I want to do something fun. I'm not sure if we're going to get to it, because obviously this requires participation on your guys' behalf. But I saw on a couple different live streams, what they do is they'll ask people to, the watchers, to put memes into the Discord to go over it later. So if you... Let's see, let me share my screen again. Actually, I think I was already sharing it. I just have to go back to it. No, add to the stream. Thank you. So if you guys want to, during this stream, to make some funny memes and post it here, we can go over after it. We can go over them after the stream. Just let me know. I won't go to the memes if you didn't post anything, but if you did, let me know, and we can look after them later. Because I made these two from our last one. When Charles learns that V2 killed Marion, and then this one, people who know, people who don't know, and people who know about Yoshita, the infamous pedophile / lolly. So if you guys want to post some memes in here during the stream, we can go over them after that. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. Now I'll read some comments, and then we'll get started with the episodes. Okay. Okie dokie. Welcome, sup guys. I don't like any episode of Code Geass. However, the episodes of R2, the episodes of R2 are my least favorite because it feels like a remake of R1. Yeah, the first 3 episodes of R2 basically mimic R1 almost to a T. They change the circumstances around. It's kind of, but not in the same vein as the situation in Bleach, where the Soul Society arc and then the, what is it called, Invasion arc, where they go to Wako Mundo to rescue Orihime. Those were kind of similar too. I think Code Geass is not as subtle about it as Bleach was, but that's definitely a good point. That's how I was thinking until I was watching the episode. I'm like, man, they really didn't try too hard, did they? In that regard. Would you like to see an OVA series about Shinkei transformation from the beginning, early events of R2? I would like to see, generally speaking, anything that discusses what happened before R2. That's why Gurren and Lancelot, actually I think it's Lancelot and Gurren, is an awesome manga series because it goes over what happened between the events. Same with Agito the Exile, and same with Oz of the Reflection. I want more information. My biggest complaint about Code Geass, as you guys know, it's always been a lack of information. So yes, more OVAs. In fact, I would say this much. If they're going to make more stuff like Resurrection, which I definitely enjoyed that film for what it was, but if that's going to be like the standard going forward, don't make Zero Capture. Just make OVAs that explain the story or animate manga. I would prefer that over taking something like Zero Capture, making another Resurrection type of story where it's more fan service than actual depth, which is not what I want. Nor do I think what the fans want either. I don't know what's happening. Same. Absolutely. In R2, Viceroy Kalaris is brought up as a potential interesting new antagonist. However, he just did be disposed of as soon as possible, like Clovis. At least Clovis got Well, Clovis got 3 episodes and Colaris got 2, but technically Clovis was dead by the beginning of the third one, so does that really count? Happy birthday to Luke since today's his birthday. Yes, it is. The 5th. Poor Colaris. His demise is his second appearance. Even Clovis lasted longer. Yeah, he did. Um, Happy birthday, Lush. Yes. I agree. The first episode are just remakes of the first two in R1. Sure, they are differences, of course. Yeah, I think that was also part of like the Great Reset and of Code Geass, which I discussed in my R2 review. I think these first episodes aren't as good as the show normally, but afterwards it becomes amazing. Yeah, the first one are not the greatest. Let's see, do a character tier list for Code Geass. I did one for the women. I'm doing one for the guys. It's mostly attractive looking, and then maybe I'll do best Nightmare Frame pilots. I was thinking about that because I know that CBR did an article about what was it the best Nightmare Frames and their pilots, which was garbage. You know what do you expect at this point? So I want to do one a better version of the best pilots, not to say the best Nightmare Frames, which I kind of already did, or my favorite. Um, yeah, I know you don't have a Discord server. Well, if anyone else wants to partake in it, good evening, everyone. Here at last. I know. At least here is night. Okay, it's good evening by me too, by the way. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I never liked Rollo that much. I didn't really like his personality or his whole story. It's not unpopular. Rollo is not a liked character. I think because he killed Shirley, but there's other reasons as well. I was watching DX's video because I hate myself to see exactly what he thought of these episodes, and most of the takes were kind of annoying. Not entirely unjustified in his complaints, but still, I could tell his intent behind the takes was not in good faith, if that makes any sense. The character of the Lost Story Nightmares is named Pendulum, I'm sure. You seem to know more about this than I do. Interesting. I didn't see anything about names, but sure. Rollo, to me, isn't that bad. I didn't like him when he died. I was sad. Yeah, well, he died a hero. We can say that much. R2 is infamous for the give birth to Colin in the bunny suit. Yeah, at least C2 wasn't in it. We got no information on Zeta capture. At this point, whenever I see an announcement for Code Geass, I'm going to assume going forward it has nothing to do with Zeta capture. When that comes, we'll all know. But until then, keep reading all those posts by people saying it's coming out next year, which it's not, but we'll see. It's our Emperor's birthday. It is, yes. R1 ending. Oh no, let's just capture. What's going to happen? R2. Oh, never mind. We're good. Wow. Oh, hail Lelouch. Yes, oh, hail Lelouch. For me, Colin the Bunny Suit was a fan disservice rather than service. Yeah, R2 definitely doubles down on all the fan service on R1. For the most part, it's not a big deal, but these first couple, I think you have to question their decisions to why they did what they did. I definitely agree with that one. The Code Geass tier list not necessarily based on the looks, but overall personality growth. No, I know what you meant. I'm just giving you an example of like what I'm working on right now. I'm thinking about a tier list in general. There's so many characters, and it's hard to figure out who really is the best based on what plot, growth, their overall skills. Everyone has an opinion on it, but I know what you meant. I'm just saying this is what I'm thinking right now of doing. I want to kind of like do a bunch of lists of different characters and then slowly build to the ultimate one. Rolled my top favorite character. Roast the most, damn. The main character, Lost Stories, was like Akito. Akito or that guy from the other one, Lost Colors, I forgot his name. The one everyone seems to love for some reason. I don't know. He's a very beloved character, even though I think his part was exactly the same as Lucius, so I don't know why he was beloved, but apparently he was a just really popular character. He's so popular, I don't even know his name. I do know that he looks, I know that he was friends with Nadia, I believe. The Knight of the Round, the one that, like, besides Dorothea, got literally no screen time, which was a crime against nature. I mean, yeah, Dorothea got like no screen time as far as I know, except for like 2 scenes. She only shows up to die, and that's about it. You know, good job there, you guys. All right, I think we're good. Lucius easily S tier. Happy birthday to our emperor. Do you think Zaku is strongest physically character in the Code Geass, or would that be Jeremiah? Well, it's obviously Jeremiah because he's a robot. If you're talking about non robots, then yeah, I would think Suzaku would be up there, or Colin, because Colin lifts weights. I know you can't tell because she's thin as rail, even though she has like large boobs. I'm not sure how the fat worked in that one, but she does actually she does lift weights, so she's pretty strong. She's got good aerobatic ability. That's not the word. She's a good athlete. I'm using the wrong word. It happens when you're stupid. Okay. I think that's good. We can move on to the first episode. So let me get that up. Oh, and actually, I'll have this playing every so often. Just join the Discord, submit the memes. If you guys need a link to the Discord, I will provide it, but it is on my channel if you need it. Again, if you want to do some memes, let me know. All right, let's get started with turn one, which is the first episode of R2, and let's get into that. So the first thing that happens in this episode is, why is my whatever? It's not a big deal. The first thing that happens in the episode is that we see C2 with the Black Knights. I don't know why my photos are kind of jumbled up. This always happens. I meant to reorganize it, but it always seems to go down this way. If I have to, I will bring out the video. But you see C2 in this blimp, yeah, right here. Again, I'm not sure why it got jumbled up, but see, you see this airship or blimp, I guess. You see C2 and the Black Knights drink a bunch of water, I guess, and they go to Lelouch or to Zero, and they want to go rescue him. Now, what's interesting about this too is that I made this observation many times I watched this episode. But the Black Knights, the ones that were with this team, know Lelouch is a student because there's a scene at the end where when they rescue him, you literally see Colin covering Oderbei's nightmare frame. So they actually know that Lelouch is in fact a student. And they know what he looks like too, which I guess doesn't matter because Oderbei dies. But the whole time I was thinking, if Oderbei didn't die, could he have told everyone what Lelouch looks like? And would keeping him alive been dangerous because he's the only one who knows that Lelouch was a student? Now, granted, he didn't care he was a student, which is good. He was actually probably the most loyal of all the Holy Swords, believing that Lelouch was on their side to the very end and wasn't using them and stuff, which honestly wasn't entirely wrong either. But I kept thinking, if Oderbei was still alive, how that would affect the story because he knew a lot of information. Probably more than he should have. But again, if they're going to rescue Lelouch, who lost his memories, they have no choice. They have to spill the beans and say, yeah, he's a student. So how's that going to work out? Just a random observation. Well, not random. I was watching the show. And after that, we see Lelouch running as a student. He clearly is wrong. The whole time you watch this episode, you're thinking to yourself, Lelouch is definitely acting in a way that we're not used to seeing. Very carefree as a student, running away from Valletta, who's a teacher. So obviously something's up. Why is Valletta teaching instead of Ogi? Because Ogi's to teach. And she's obviously in much better shape than Lelouch, but he uses this chemistry set to set smoke to distract Valletta. Millie gives him food. Valletta's not happy about that. She tackles Raul. And by the way, I know this is not fantasy. Oh, hold on. My bad. Okay. Hope you guys didn't. Whoopsies. I keep forgetting to share my screen. Okay, so here's the thing I was mentioning before. Where is it? Huh? Okay. One second. I mentioned this before I get into before of the befores, because when you're saying something before, yeah, this is the blimp. To see C2's face. And also, she started R1 and she starts R2. It's a little interesting. You've been following the story, she's the first thing you see in R1, and she's the first thing we see in R2. I think that makes sense. Okay. Anyhow, back to this. So Valletta tackles Lelouch. Now let's just say something for a moment here. How the hell did Rivel not break his spine? Valletta is a very strong woman, and she's very athletic and a trained soldier. I mean, I know it's a comment. I was thinking, man, Rivel must be somewhat strong because she nearly just killed him. Kind of funny stuff there, I guess. We get to this intro of the new one for R2, which the music is god awful. I think most people agree to that. But the visuals are fantastic. There are so many good foreshadows in the story, like you see Jeremiah walking in his robotic form. Lelouch is out here at the horse watching the boats and also the Avalon. You see Colin in the fly-enabled Gurren. They also tease, which is really irritating. I don't have it here, but it shows Toto and Guilford fighting, which they never do in this story after their one conflict. They don't have it shows the Vincent it's the purple Vincent fighting against the Gekka, because I don't think he has the Zangetsu at this point. Right, he didn't get till stage 10 and turn 10. So they tease that fight, but it never happens. Also, Colin uses the fly-enabled version in the intro. It only happens in one episode. Now, if you read Lancelot and Gurren, she used it several times in that manga. But yeah, it's kind of disappointing they didn't have more of that in the story. So a little bit of tease there, but it's still cool. There's a lot of foreshadowing of certain characters. And again, I love this Jeremiah just walking out. It's a really cool imagery. And even this is cool, all the characters as well. But yeah, the music is god awful, at least in my opinion. It's like Code Geass basically works like this: intro one, amazing; intro two, meh; intro three, good music, bad visuals; intro four, meh; intro five, also amazing and good visuals. Okay, so we got to that. Oh, Shirley also says Lulu, which is how I knew early on that something's obviously wrong here. I mean, I've seen the show too, but if you did it, you know that if Shirley said Lulu, you know that there's something wrong because she forgot in the end of stage 25, I believe. She's Rivel said, "Oh, Lulu," and she goes, "I used to call him that." So clearly, she's back to her older self. So something's clearly wrong. Even if you didn't need to, even before Luce tells you what happened, you can kind of tell based on how the characters are acting that something is clearly wrong here. Then we see Lelouch and Rolo, and they're kind of in the bike because he took Rivals when he ran away from Valletta. And they're talking about their future. You know, Rolo asked him, what are you going to do about school? He doesn't know. Lelouch basically says what we're all thinking at that age, which is, you know, if I go to college, I'll get a job, I'll join the workforce, I'll get swallowed by a corporation and the elite, I won't really have an independent voice anymore. I'll just be like another cog in the machine. Which is funny because there's a lot of truth to that. But unfortunately, that's what happens. I don't even know what to. Yeah, I'm not even sure how to even respond to that point he was making because there is some truth to that. Apparently, a year has passed also since the rebellion was crushed, which I think explains why a lot has happened in terms of like how they got the Black Knights together, how they didn't find certain people, why everything has calmed down. I was trying to like rationalize like, okay, if a year has passed, I guess that explains why other things in the story happen, which I'll discuss later. But that's we'll get to that when we get to it. We see a bunch of people being executed. I assume these were Japanese prisoners, and you see Kalaris' first appearance murdering a bunch of people. Well, I guess not murdering if they're enemies of the Empire, right? Anyhow, so he's saying, you know, this is not what was it? It's not I forgot what it was, like correction. He basically justified his word by saying it wasn't X, it was Y, which it still was the same thing. He was trying to like be nice about, or not be nice up, try to pretty up the words. Lucius is reading a book called La Divina. I'm not sure what that is. I forgot to look it up before the stream. I love these photos. Everyone who's been arrested, like their faces tell you all you have to know about their feelings towards everything. Toto is like really calm, like it's fine. You know, if we die, we die. I was already dead anyways. Chiba looks like she's gonna snap someone's crap in because she's really pissed off. And when they see them in jail, she is really angry at Zero. In fact, there's a part in turn 5 where she just lets them have like, why'd you betray us? Why'd you do this? And in my opinion, if Toto didn't join up with Alou, she would have betrayed him and just left the Black Knights. She only really stayed because of Toto, in my opinion, because she was really angry with him, understandably so, considering she betrayed them in combat or in the middle of the battle. We know that Rakshata and Detard fled to the Chinese Federation, as did Kaguya. I believe Colin did too, but I have to do more research on that before I say that for sure. Lelouch calls Zero a fool because he was defeated. It was never going to work. Then we see Colaris with Guilford, and they also want to meet up with the Chinese Federation. We also get introduced to the OSI units here because they're watching Lelouch. Basically, the whole plan is to bait out C2, and there's a whole can of worms, like the problem they have with that whole aspect of the story, which I'm not going to discuss here because that's a whole other issue to it. But yeah, it's that's not great. Oh, that's right. 11 became a re-education zone. So one thing I forgot to mention here is that if you remember in R1, I mentioned in my Shodan Showdown discussion video about his take, the Britannians want to elevate Japan to a satellite nation. But because of the rebellion, not only did it not become a satellite nation, they actually went down a step to a re-educational zone. That's how bad things were after the Black Rebellion. And things have calmed down, of course. But just trying to point out, like, they really went the other direction. So we get to that. Lelouch, so they get to the casino. He mentions how like what they're doing is kind of illegal, but he doesn't really care because Lelouch is bored. He even says here like he's just really bored. Kind of like, and I don't want to use this comparison lightly, or I don't want to say this lightly, but in a sense, kind of like light Yagami, where this stuff here, beating these people, these games, it's not really fun. It's only fun to get to compete against someone who is much stronger than you to have a challenge. Basically, in this case, Lucia, it's the Empire, and with the Black Knights, with Light, it was with L. Because Lucia's like really bored, and Raul understands why, because he lost his memory, he lost who he was as a person. They come to watch the people fighting, and I like how the announcer says, "Who's gonna win, the older brother or the younger brother?" I'm like, older brother, younger brother. Now, obviously, the first thing I was thinking of was Full Metal Alchemist. When what is her name? May Hughes' daughter, Felicia, I think is, or is that his wife? Ugh, darn it. That's so frustrating. Whatever the one the name was, she was saying like to Alphonse, older brother, bigger brother, little brother. But here, I think they're referring to Schneizel versus Alush. Who's going to win, the older brother or the younger brother? Now, ironically enough, they both die in this episode. Not Alush and Schneizel, but these guys. So I wonder if that's like also a metaphor for something. I thought it was kind of funny. And then we see a bunch of rich people watching this stuff because we have to throw in that whole poor versus the rich. It's good metaphor stuff. Then Colin runs into Alush in her bunny outfit, and she mentions the whole Britannian philosophy about how the weak are consumed by the strong. And Alush is like, I prefer if you don't push your beliefs on me, which is kind of funny. I'm trying to make a meme where it's like when religious people come to my house, like Jehovah's Witnesses, I have Alush saying here, please don't push your beliefs on me. It was kind of funny. But she was saying, oh, it's true. And then unfortunately, we meet the Black King, who's apparently this amazing chess player, and he was gonna, I guess, buy Colin because they had a bunch of bunny girls. The first of the major fan service in this season. Yeah, all the bunny girls they have. I guess they're gonna add Colin to it. She was actually a Black Knight in disguise. I'm not sure who she is though. I guess she joined the team later or left in the middle. Who the heck knows? Or yeah, probably joined later because she wasn't ever shown in the series. And I don't think you would have forgotten a character who looks like this. So Lucius obviously upset because he, even though he lost, his memories were overridden by Charles, he still wants to. His still core of who he is hasn't changed. Defend the weak. So he goes against Lelouch. He goes against himself. He goes against the Black King in a game of chess, and he beats him. Before we get to that, though, we have all the Black Knights discussing their frustration with the situation, right? Chiba's, again, pissed off because Lelouch left everyone. Oh, he's like, he must have had a good reason. She's like, what reason could that have been? And again, with Toto, he's like, guys, just calm down, all right? It doesn't matter what it is. It is what it is. Because, again, Ogi and Toto, they both lead two perspective groups in the Black Knight. Toto represents, like, the four holy swords, and Ogi leads the founding members of the terrorist group that Luch ended up joining forces with to found the Black Knight. So the two of them have a lot of clout within the Black Knight. So if either one doesn't support Zero, that could be a big deal, which is why when they both support him in turn 5, it was a way to keep everyone together, because otherwise there could have been a revolt, given how pissed off Chiba was. And again, I really don't blame her. Anyhow, now we get to the chess game, and Luch beats him, and he goes, well, you must have cheated. And they're like, how could he have cheated? And ultimately, before anything happens, the Black Knights break in, and look at that smile. Yeesh. Colin does her awesome flips and knocks him out, and moves Lelouch to safety, or to the Black Knights, rather, and they get separated anyway, because that's how it always goes. We first see Shinkei actually in person. I mean, we saw him in the last episode, but only like the back of his head. Now we actually see his full... we see what he looks like, and they're basically in the Chinese Federation. And one thing I'll note right away is that Kolaris clearly is an idiot. And I don't mean like intellectually. I mean his interpersonal intelligence is terrible. He talks to Shinkei and Go High, and he insults him immediately by saying, we don't need you, put your weapon away, you don't need it. Ignoring the fact that it's, one, a ceremonial item, and two, it's, this is a major person in the Chinese Federation. Show a little respect and understanding of the culture, and he just doesn't care because he's an idiot. Luch is much better at understanding people's nature and motivations and appealing to them to form positive connections. Kolaris immediately pisses off both people when they first meet up, which again shows the difference between Kolaris versus Luch, which is a nice little, you want more about leadership stuff. There you go. So Luch essentially runs away. They're trying to find him. They use the smoke so they don't so the OSI units don't, not OSI units, so the Britannians can't find them, and to signal other people as well. Then we get to the scene where the OSI units are basically going after Lelouch and Rollo, and there's a part where, so C2 breaks in, and I love this, right? She breaks in to help Lelouch, and then the Britannians come in as well. But the funny part is the Britannians actually kill more people than the Black Knights do, because she's just here for Lelouch, but they come in there and they're shooting all around the, they are just shooting like around the area, and they're killing a bunch of people here. And then C2 is actually clever enough to protect Lelouch's body while sacrificing the Nightmare Frame to do so. Then we see Colin, and this is something I kind of questioned, but again, remember what I said earlier about the whole year pass? That's how this is, possible. Because the Gurren at this point has its arm reattached. That means that between the events of R1 Stage 25 and this one, which is again was a year, they got the Gurren somehow. They brought it to Rakshata. She worked on a replacement arm for it, and then she must have left the Chinese Federation, or Colin went to the Chinese Federation to get it. Again, I kind of forgot what happened to Lancelot and Gurren, if that's how she fixed the Nightmare Frame. But either way, a year passed, so it explains how it could, excuse me, it could have the arm. Because if it was like a couple weeks ago, there's no way. I still might have preferred having the other arm instead. But again, a year passed by, so it makes sense why they chose to do that. Lelouch and Rollo again are running away. He's confused why Nightmare Frame would put its hand out to him. He's kind of confused there. We get to a weird scene, and I'm awfully confused why this happened. So they're by, I think it's an elevator shaft, or not elevator shaft, just like a incomplete structure of the Babylon Tower. This Black Knight member is shooting at a student. Now I'm pretty sure they know Lelouch is a student, because if they didn't, why would like it's just weird how they were shooting at him, but they were looking for him. I mean, this guy was an idiot. He almost killed the guy they were going for. They know he's a student. It was kind of weird to me. Anyhow, the hands, Rollo can't hold on to Lelouch, so he falls down. Thankfully, he doesn't die. We get a similar scene to the opening of R1, where Shirley's talking about Lelouch, and they're going back and forth about her obsession with him. Again, just like the R1 discussion, because the two mirror each other. I guess that was their major goal there. Lelouch finally wakes up. He walks around. He's trying to find to protect Rollo. And while running around, he sees all the dead bodies. There's the brothers. There's also the bunny girl and the Black King. Basically, everyone is dead who we saw earlier in the episode, which is unfortunate. That's the picture of Zero on the bunny girl's. That's blood on the picture of Zero and the bunny girl's hands. C2 then says, Lelouch, I am, I'm the one who truly knows you. I'm the one, I'm here for you, protect you. We have a contract. She gets shot. Lelouch catches her. Then the OSI units appear and they say, we've been following you this whole time. Let me go over your entire journal and what you've been doing up to now. Which kind of freaks out Lelouch. It would freak me out too. Because the whole plan was to lure out C2. And then he says, if I had power, I could have stopped him. Now, I am confused about one thing about this scene. So if the OSI units are directly under Charles, the Emperor, right? And they want to get C2 from Lelouch. They're using it as a bait for C2. Did Charles tell them to kill Lelouch afterwards, or kill C2? Kill C2 because you can't kill her. Because it just seems weird. It just seems odd that Charles like, yeah, we're going to kill Lelouch here after you get C2. I think the guy was acting on his own, because I don't think Charles would want to kill Lelouch. At the same time, I say to myself, yeah, but if the Ragnarok connection happens and the dead reunites with the living, would it even matter if he was dead or alive at this point? I don't know. Just kind of strange how they'd want to kill him. In R1, it made sense because they thought they saw him as a schoolboy. The guards were a little over anxious, or zealous rather, and they, I guess, having a C2 and was Zaku, they kind of bunched them together, and therefore they were going to kill him. But here it's like, if you kill Lelouch, did Charles want that? Look, if he wanted that, I'm not going to question the wisdom of an emperor, but I'm just confused why they'd want to kill him. Either way, we get this awesome scene where C2 kisses Lelouch, and then we see C2 naked, actually, which is, I forgot about that. She's actually naked here for some reason. They decided to go that route. I guess that's fair, right? We saw Colin nude in the R1 twice, so I guess we see C2 nude once. We see C2 nude twice in R2. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Then C2 talks to Lelouch about the contract and the all that stuff. He remembers what happened with Suzaku. Ultimately, he plays the usual thing where it's like, let me ask you a question. Those who don't have power, what's wrong with them? What was it? What are your morals? If people don't have power, are they worthless? I believe that was the overall conversation. He goes, look, it doesn't matter. Death is all that matters to you. Lelouch commands everyone to die. And the guy says it can't be. Now, my interpretation of this is that when he says it can't be, I think that the OSI members must have known about the Geass power. But I don't think they knew about Lelouch being able to recover it, say, with the help of C2. I get the feeling that Charles didn't know either. That's why they weren't wearing, let's say, protective masks over their face, just in case Lelouch's Geass worked, because their impression probably was that Charles used his Geass on Lelouch to rewrite his memories, to shut down his Geass ability, and there's no way to undo that, since Geass power is absolute. So that's why they probably weren't wearing masks. It's also why they were surprised Lelouch used his Geass in the first place. Just my understanding of the story, given how Charles doesn't know everything about Geass, and heck, C2 doesn't either at this point. Anywho, Lelouch used the Geass on them to kill each other. Oh, and there's fire here because the guards were burning people alive for some reason. I guess it was part of the cover-up. I don't know. It was kind of messed up. One person was, of course, still alive, like an R1. They killed him anyways. In R1, it was a baby. Here it was a woman, I believe. Then we see this epic scene where Lelouch and C2 are staying tall together. Uribe and Colin both appear in their nightmare frames, and they're bowing to Lelouch, which again indicates to me that Uribe knew Lelouch was, in fact, a student this whole time. I again wonder what would have happened if... I wonder what happened if he survived. What would the other people do if they knew he was a student? And then afterward, Lelouch says, I'm Zero. I'm the one who's going to destroy the world and create a new. We see the Knights of the Round, including Anya and Gino. And Suzaku says, I'm going to kill Zero. And that's how the episode ends. Very epic stuff. I know a lot of people don't like this episode. I was looking at like the top R1 episodes like on IMDb and also I believe on Funimation. And this one is not very highly rated for some reason, even though it's literally one of my favorites in R2. And I also like these new things they have going for you. These artistic, almost religious symbolism. Again, something else also taken from Evangelion. Of all the characters and like different like angels and demons. Kind of good stuff here. That's kind of I like these drawings. Okay, let me see if I missed anything before I move on to some comments. Let's see. I don't have an image of it, but Tamaki was being a big nuisance. When they were putting him into jail, he was like, if Zero was here, you would be so tough. And what's funny is he's got like bruise on his face because they literally beat the crap out of him. I wish they had shown that. It'd been kind of funny. But that's thing I noticed. Okay. I think that's everything I had here. Oh yeah, this thing was cool too. I don't know I guess it was intentional or not. But when Lelouch first meets up with C2, so she's just kind of standing here normally, and then a light kind of shines on her. I don't know if it's symbolism or not. Almost like a religious thing where she's almost like a god or an angel or something. Again, it's the crack on the wall, but notice how it only shines on her. I assume they're trying to illuminate that she's like some kind of majestic or divine being. Just again, because she's an immortal witch. A random observation, but I thought you guys might find that interesting. And I believe that's all my thoughts there. Okay, we'll go through the comments and I'll go through the two picture dramas that happened in turn. Actually, they don't even happen in turn 1. They happened before turn 1. So technically, you're supposed to watch those first before you watch this episode. But whatever, we don't do things intellectually. I don't, anyways. Okay, your screen. Yes, just so you guys know, I do this on purpose, just so you guys will mention it. How did Nelly survive that bombing, or whatever it was called? Oh, the Flea? Yeah, I did a video on it if you're interested. But basically, there was a not a duplicate. That's the wrong word. There was a decoy plane, and the one that you saw being blown up was with Alicia, and Nelly was way gone at that point. It's vaguely explained in episode turn 21. I think it was 22 because Lucia's already emperor at this point. At 23, three. 23. It's 23. Because Pendragon was just destroyed, and Jeremiah says, like, blah. One more time. The members of the Zero's force, the Britannia forces, it wasn't Zero, it was Lelouch. The Britannia forces were saying, hey, does someone blow up Pendragon? And Jeremiah said, stop with that nonsense. And then Psycho comes out and says, yes, they destroyed Pendragon. Take me to Lelouch. Okay, so that's that's what happened there. But yeah, there's a video if you're interested. Um, don't you hate it when your teacher jumps on top of you and shatters your spine? No, just me. Oh man, I should write. Oh, that's the best. That's the best comment so far. That's amazing. You like the OP? Okay, look. I mean, it's all right. I won't like the part where they go like, "I continue to fight." I believe that's okay, but the rest of it, I don't know. Compared to the other two, If you're talking about physical strength, Randy is strongest due to his cursed arm. Yeah, but Barbaros was pretty beastie. I mean, Barbaro was a monster. He had like that intense armor, and he still was able to fight almost like a cruiserweight. Colors is top tier, pretty much. OP3 is the best. You mean song or visual? Because music, I don't disagree on it being a top tier intro for sure. I like all the openings. Yes, we're getting our takes in the openings now. Opening one of R2. Okay. 1, 5, 3, and then 3 and 4. Our top 3, 4 wasn't good. 2 was trash. 2, I don't know, man. That's one where it kind of comes at you like, oh, that's the one we're going with. All right, not a great follow up. Lush was reading the Divine Comedy, I think. My opinion, only 2 was meh. Okay, that's fine. Everyone's out their opinions, even if they're wrong. I'm obviously just joking there. I still can't believe Sunrise ordered the soft reboot. Why? They could just why would they just anger returning fans? I don't know. I think they want to show the same situation in parallel to the old one to show how things have changed, but they haven't changed. It's commonly done. I just don't think Geass did it the best. Again, I discussed early on in the stream blob like how Bleach did it with the Soul Society arc and then the Invasion arc. I'm not sure it's called that or not. There's like the Waco. So there's the Waco Muno arc, and then they go to when they invaded. I forgot exactly what the name is. I love Bleach, but I forget the arc's name sometimes. So that's what I think they were trying to be similar. I know that Bleach technically came first. Was it 05, I believe? I could be getting my facts wrong there, but what I'm not wrong about is the fact that in both cases they're replicating what happened before, but showing it a different way. In Bleach's case, I thought it was different enough that it's not noticeable. In this case, it's very, very noticeable. Sarah says, but she was a simp for Toto. Yeah, she is. Because she can't. She's just like Rivel. It's funny. Chiba and Rivel are the same person when it comes to the individual they're in love with or they like a lot. I think Chiba has known Toto for a very long time. She said 7 years ago that when they fought against Britannia, they lost. And so now they have nightmare frames. So she's known Toto for at least 7 years. So there's obviously more chemistry among them. When it comes to Millie and Rivel, maybe it's like 3 or 4. I don't know if they went to elementary school together. I also don't know if Rivel just transferred to school. They don't really explain how long he's been there. But with Toto and Chiba, they've known each other for a long time, which kind of saddens me that Toto hasn't realized that Chiba loves him, or Asahina, Orbe, and Senba have never told him either. But is what it is. How does no one see the USB stick in Colin's cleavage? We all know where people's eyes were looking at. Well, here's a better question. Why is it even in her cleavage to begin with? I know that the bunny suit has no pockets, but they couldn't have just sewn one in there. They had a year to prep for this, right? So they could have put it anywhere they wanted. Or she could just make a necklace, right? Just have a necklace for the USB. You know, that would have worked too, right? And people say, "What is that?" Oh, it's just a souvenir I got from a battle or something. You know, not me personally, just somebody I knew. Somebody knew. I think the real question: why she didn't wear a necklace? But yeah, it's kind of it's kind of annoying. The Black King is stated to be the best chess player in the world. Well, he just lost. So what does that tell you? Even though Schneisel's the best in the world. I kind of wish we saw Zaku as a knight of one, since there's no way he could have stopped the Japanese exploitation like this, and it would have been almost funny watching him try. We'll never know what would happen, though. Yeah, I mean, if he's in charge of the area, he could do whatever he wants. So theoretically, he could at least do his best to keep things better for the Japanese people, like how Yuffie probably would have if she wasn't killed by Zero and was made viceroy of Area 11. But that's a good point. Why did Black King say Luce cheated if he didn't want to lose? Yeah, Black King didn't like Black King was full of crap. Thoughts on the BK symbol being taken inspired by the C2 scare? Wait, thoughts on the Black Knight symbol being taken / inspired by C2's scare? I'm not sure what you're referring to. If you want to explain, I'd like to know. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Roll uses Geass when Luce falls. That's why the screen is red. So he saved him from falling? Wow. I never realized that. Let's go back there real quick. Is that what happened there? Okay. You mean this? If that's the case, then why'd he still fall? If he stopped time, couldn't he, or not stop his perception of time, couldn't he have, I guess not, right? Because the Geass power doesn't stop gravity. It only stops your perception of it. So you might think time has stopped, but gravity doesn't stop for you. So that makes sense. I think those Britannian soldiers were OSI members. They were not part of the regular military under Calaris' command. Right, Royal Family in general. I don't remember much from these first episodes. I might be wrong. Charles doesn't care about the physical world. He wouldn't care if they killed his son. That's what I was thinking too. Colin is so hot in the punny suit. I mean, look, I'm not gonna lie, she is, but unnecessary. We need more nudity with Code Geass girls. No naked Cecile and Cornelia. No naked Cecile and Cornelia was a crime. Yeah, and it was bad. Cornelia was shameless. At least with Colin, I kind of get it because she had to dress the part for a casino, considering it's run by a bunch of I guess misogynist, chauvinist pigs who are rich assholes. But when it comes to like Cornelia, that was just what the hell. She's actually a very dignified character. I think it was Sloppy Ryan that had to happen for the reboot. Yeah, I think also something to consider is that in as far as I know, and I could be wrong here, but R2 wasn't really the plan for Code Geass going forward. They had something else in mind, but unfortunately, I don't know exactly what the reasons were. They had to change everything. That's why R2 has a lot of inconsistencies with R1. Now, this is from something I read from a post of a guy who explained like the resurrection ending and Oz's reflection, all that stuff. If I find it again, I can always post it in the comments, but the guy was saying how R2 was a whole different direction than R1, and it wasn't the intended plan from the beginning. That's why it's called R2. A different path we're going on. Again, that's just my. That's why I understood the story. If that is in fact what happened, that makes perfect sense because R2 seemed like a reboot. It seemed like they changed and overwrote retconned several things in R1. Like for example, C2's relationship with Charles, which in R1 was almost non-existent. Like there were certain subtle hints, but R2 they went full on with it. Like, yeah, I've been with this since I was much younger. I gave Morgan a contract. I was involved with the Geass order. I mean, all this stuff that just came out of nowhere, seemingly, anyways. Maybe he meant how is it possible Luce remembers? How it's possible Luce remembers, or maybe could be Geass. Okay. Because the episode confused a lot of people. It did, yes. The animation of the early episodes wasn't saying aren't saying. Yeah, the animation is fantastic. They improved a lot, that's for sure. Good thing, though, the Green Lantern Lelouch after Colin orbit crashed through the ceiling. That would have been awkward. Can you imagine? It's just like, oh, damn. Well, I guess we gotta find a new leader. Toto, you want a job? Why was the fire purple? It could have just been the Why is fire purple? I don't know. Was it a reflection of the room, maybe? Then again, even then, I'm not sure. Was it meant to confuse people? Because they did a good job. Wow. Bonus burning can be purple because of calcium. Okay. Bones burning. But wasn't the flame started out as purple? But that's a good point. It's the same band who sang the first Bleach OP. Really? Okay. The baits breaks you some chemicals to get purple fire for the aesthetics. I forgot the chemical / mineral. Okay, there we go. Fun fact, I saw an index card of Code Geass Twitter, and it showed Luce singing, so Luce has the greatest musical intelligence. So Luce has all the intelligence. They keep just a retcon this. He can sing too, of course. Well, he has he can play piano, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Was there anything after Resurrection film? Like, did Lelouch and C2 go on adventures as Warlock and Witch? What did he do after the movie? What happened to Britannia? Britannia became the Principality of Britannia, meaning that they fought with the UFN. They lost all their power as a world a world superpower, so they're not as strong as they used to be. Nully basically became a figurehead like the Queen of England, and the actual people who run Britannia is more of a democracy, which is what Lelouch had in store after he passed away. Well, passed away. We do see a $2 question. At the end of the Resurrection film, there's a picture drama. It has Lelouch and C2 fighting against a code user. I said in my video, Geass user, that was wrong. He was a code user. This is 10 years, by the way, in the future, and they're both the same age, so they're not aging. If you're wondering about Lelouch's immortality. So we do see them working together to take out to collect some Geass shards that were left after Shamna's the temple exploded and the shards she had just went everywhere. That's what happened, basically. We get one picture drama discussing it. That's it. Will we get more in Zeta Recapture? I hope so. She would be like, no, let's be senpai. Pretty much. Yep, thank you, Gladiator King, but I can only, yeah, that's exactly right. The BK symbols resembles the scar on C2's chest shown in one of the C2 flashbacks. Oh, that's what you meant. Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's like it's like a pitchfork almost. I'm not gonna look it up for obvious reasons, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. If only Suzaku just shot Charles season 1, Schneizel and Flea would have, on old bullshit, could have been avoided. It could have just been the bitch emperor in the head and ran off Lelouch. Well, unfortunately, Suzaku let his rage against Lelouch cloud his judgment, even though, which I don't blame him, by the way, I would have been just as pissed off, too. Suzaku's plan didn't even work in terms of, oh, you mean like helping out the Japanese people? Well, we never got a chance to see what would have happened if he became the Knight of One. So it's hard to say if it didn't work, because again, his goal was to rise in rank to the highest possible he could, and then use his authority to make the world better for the Japanese people, even if that meant working with Britannia and conquering, let's say, the EU, or doing other awful things. He was very much aware of the things he'd have to do to make a better world for the Japanese people, and maybe the world in general. Suzaku's a complicated character. I know what you mean. Lelouch's plans was much superior credit to Suzaku's. Charles and Schneider would never change for Suzaku's plans. Well, the thing is, if he had that authority, I don't think they can tell him no in that respect. Plus, if Schneider could work with Suzaku to kill the Emperor, if Suzaku had to, he could also do the same thing on his own to kill the Emperor. Then again, if he does that, then that's the same thing as Lelouch. So I see your point there. Again, we don't know. I mean, someone argued with me many months ago that if he tried to go against Charles and what's it called? Well, the whole Britannia Empire, they could send an assassin to kill him. There were discussions. I had a discussion with someone about that because they were killing lots of people. If you look at Rollo's victims, many of them were people who spoke out against the government, so they could have killed Suzaku in the same way. But again, I don't know what would happen if he became the Knight of One and if he took Japan as his own. It's hard to say if they would have gone his way or not, because here's one thing to consider also, right? Cornelia wanted to elevate the nation to become a satellite nation. If they do that, they'll become productive and Britannia will leave them alone. So if Suzaku became in charge of Japan and he guided them to becoming a satellite nation, and they were productive citizens, but they were treated equally as Japanese people under Britannian rule, it wouldn't have been the same as quote-unquote pure independence, but they wouldn't be treated the way they are treated now. Again, if that's what Suzaku was going for, that might have worked out, but we'll never know because unfortunately, I think fortunately, I guess, he killed millions of people with the flare. Well, him, Schneider, and Nita, it was a team effort. And after that, he decided to join Lelouch, and well, before that, betrayed Charles, and then joined Lelouch. But it's a fair point. That was a very long-winded response. C2's kiss to Lelouch gave him memories back. It's the opposite of scene of Superman 2 where Clark erased Lois' memories of a kiss. In both cases, we explain it because of reasons. Fire is purple because it's Code Geass's color. I thought you were going to say, you remember how C2's like, you know why snow is white? It's white because I forgot what color it's supposed to be. fire is purple because it's the color it knows it's supposed to be. But yeah, it's right. It's purple. That's true. Well, Lucius' plan also failed considering the whole Black Knight betraying him. Well, that was because he didn't tell them what who he was. That was what's the term? That was episodes in the making. He kept doing things that was raising eyebrows amongst his own peers. Lucius ended up getting what he wanted in the end, which is true. Okay, I'm not going to partake in this argument, but I'm just saying things. I'm just asking some questions. It's fair. Look, criticizing Suzaku or anything else in the story is totally fine. Open discussion is very important. How do you think R2 would have turned out if Suzaku killed Lucius on Covenant Island? Would Shin have wiped out Britannia? We talking about Shin Hyuga. I assume that's what you're talking about, right? Shin Hyuga. Probably. But did Julius even stop him to begin with? It was really Jean. It was Ayano saved everyone in that OVA. If that's what you're referring to. It's hard to say because you know how time works. You just eliminate one variable, everything else changes. So I can't tell you for sure what would have happened. But if Julius did get involved and Akito the exiled, it probably wouldn't have ended well for Britannia. I mean, Shin was very close, even with Lelouch being involved. And to say he was involved at that point would not even be accurate. He was in jail with Suzaku. So, yeah, I don't know. I think when he was about to use Apollo's chariot, and Ayano stopped the whole thing, which conveniently no one seems to talk about. But if it wasn't for Ayano, a lot of people would have died. I was doing the Geass stuff, and I found some dirty things with Colin. Only some? Are you serious? You're not looking hard enough. They literally did her dirty. Yeah, I'm gonna make a video about this. I have like the Janissary Code review, which I was working on today. Well, for the most part, until something happened, but I was working on it. And part of that review was discussing how the fan service was insulting, but Count was especially insulting. But then I was like, you know what? This should be a topic to itself. So I wrote a whole script about like why the fan service in Geass offended me, specifically R2. So R1 was tolerable. It wasn't too much in your face. R2 really dropped the ball with the fan service. So I know what you mean because R1 focused so heavily on Colin's backstory as a Britannian Japanese hybrid. Someone who, half-breed, not hybrid, not a robot, a half-breed. Someone who was trying to fight for her mother's, so she and her mother can live together in peace, almost like Nully and Lelouch living together. The similar motives between her and Lelouch, and she's fighting to avenge her brother. Those are three critical aspects to her character, but they don't really matter as much in R2 as they did in R1 because instead of showing that part, they had to emphasize, well, you know. So it's a good point. When I saw Charles erase Lucius' memories, I was like, they massacred my boy, pretty much. And last two, we'll go to the picture drama. Lelouch and Suzaku are both morally questionable anti-heroes. The difference is that Lelouch is smart and his plans work. You don't think Suzaku is smart? Well, that's fair. I don't approve of a lot of choices Suzaku makes, but he's one of the most well-developed, interesting characters. Okay, that's fair. Geass is the best anime I've seen in a while. It's cool, and I love the drama and its secrecy. Yeah, it's good. The drama is very good. It's one of the parts about Geass people don't talk about, and I guess the creators of Janissary Code forgot about. And last, if it wasn't for Layla and her Geass, Shin would have killed Akito, and I intentionally thought first watching the OVA that Akito was going to die. Yeah, he was not in good shape. It was definitely not going well. Okay, awesome. So let me. I don't want to go further with this because if I keep reading comments, we'll never actually complete this. If that was your goals, well, you're pretty good. All right, here's the first picture drama. It takes place before episode 1. Basically, what's happening here, there was a conflict between the Boldian, I guess, for the EU, and Suzaku is defeated them. Cecile praises him. I think if there was a sign that she might like him a lot, this is probably the first indication to me. I mean, she's been taking care of him since R1, which, by the way, is just like Misato and Shinji, and I'm definitely convinced that Cecile and Suzaku's relationship is the same as Misato's and Shinji's. Basically, you have a big-breasted older woman. I hate to use that term, but I'm just trying to make things similar. Or put all the okay, one more time. I wanted to list all the similarities. There we go. So you have a big-breasted older woman with nice purple hair and very friendly, although she's not like Misato in that she's not messy or disorganized or drinks a lot. She does gamble though, so she has some different quirks. They're not always the most healthy, and she takes care of Suzaku just like Misato takes care of Shinji. So that's one comparison I already like realized right away. Now, granted, Cecile isn't exactly the same level as Misato because she's not as important to the story. Well, to me, she is, but to no one else. Just again, there's so much similarity between Evangelion and Code Geass. It's crazy. That's like one of the most obvious, I think. Anyway, Suzaku is troubled by this whole thing because even though he helped everyone out, Cecile recognized that it only hurts him because of him being a traitor to the Black Knights and the Black Knights to the Japanese people. So she understands that while she's praising him for his good work, she does realize it also upsets his conscience, which makes sense because Zaku is obviously a conflicted individual. We just discussed him like 5 minutes, like literally a couple seconds ago, about how what he's doing, would it work or not, and he has decided to follow this path to the end. Even though Gino and Anya just to tell him, like, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have succeeded. But again, Suzaku doesn't see it that way. He's very upset about it. So he didn't like being complimented. Gino does. So we get to learn more about Gino and Anya's personalities. They find this girl who was buried under rubble, and unfortunately, Suzaku killed her father with the Lancelot because when he mentions the Lancelot, she freaks out. So he realized that, yeah, he killed her father. So he's obviously traumatized a little bit because he thought he was doing something good, or, well, I'll put it like this. He didn't think he was necessarily doing something good, but he understands his path is kind of, I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. He understands that the direction he's going isn't the greatest, but he still believes that in the end, there's light in the tunnel, something good will come out of it. But seeing that he killed someone's parent really messed him up. So much so that he asked Cecile to take the child in. And Gino's like, who cares? The strong destroy the weak. Because Gino is obviously a puppet of the Empire. Although Alto wasn't like this, though. Alto was a much different person. That's, if you don't know, that's Gino's great grandfather from the 1860s. He didn't really believe the strong should devour the weak. After all, he protected Claire and got her to Britannia. Even though she wasn't the strongest leader, in fact, the guy who should have taken over, well, I guess logistically speaking, was Lorenzo. So the fact that Alto took care of Claire shows his real loyalty to Britannia, but also he doesn't think that strong should devour the weak. So Gino learned nothing from his great grandfather. Then he asked why he become a soldier in the first place. This whole, again, the economy about if you become a soldier, killing people to save lives, which I think you still can in the army. I like this photo of all three of them together. It's a nice artwork. I'll say that much about this. And then we get the members of, I guess it's the Emperor's crew to find him, soldiers. They kneel for Suzaku. They call him the Ogre, by the way, which is kind of funny. That's his nickname, the Ogre. And then ultimately he flees to them, and Cecile mentions how he's going to. It's not just a celebration. He's going to keep going on this path to see where it ends. And again, her face is a little upset because naturally, she likes Suzaku and doesn't understands how he truly feels. Because Suzaku, just so you guys know, he's basically dead inside because what happened to Euphemia. So what you're seeing here is like a shell of his former self. Because Euphemia was really the only person who truly understood him. Even among Lelouch, I think Euphemia still understood more aspects about his character and his internal struggles. Lelouch kind of did, and he mentioned it in one episode when he was posing like this for the artwork, how Suzaku's been holding this his whole life. But Euphemia didn't just understand that aspect to it, but she was able to relate to him. She kept him smiling and positive this whole time when Lelouch, I don't think, was the exact same. Of course, Lelouch had ulterior motives for even trying to keep Suzaku happy, where Euphemia just wanted to be there for him. So you're seeing basically a guy who's dead inside. This is actually a really good picture drama as it establishes, one, Suzaku's feelings right now entering into R2, how Cecile and Suzaku might have some kind of relationship building. Again, I'm not a fan of that situation in the story, but it's sort of canon, I guess. And we get to meet Gino and Anya. So good stuff here. I like this picture drama. It was really definitely well done. Considering some of the R1 picture dramas were complete crap, this one's actually well done. So there is that. So let's close that out. Now the other one is Not as it's more lighthearted, sort of. So we have basically this is the plan right before they go and rescue Lelouch in the Babel Tower. This is the room that C2 and Colin are staying in, and you can definitely tell whose side is whose. Colin has like bras everywhere, a bunch of papers, I guess for the Gurren, weights, a punching bag, more weights. So again, I know Colin works out, but for some reason, you don't see her actually have muscles. Which, if I was to reimagine Geass, if I actually was an artist, which I'm not, I can't draw for the life of me. But if I could draw, I would give Colin muscles, not like big ones, just some kind of definition because she clearly picks up weights and works out. They're basically fighting amongst themselves because C2 calls Colin a pervert because she was taking photos of Lelouch or Peeper, whatever it is, whatever the term you want to use. And they're talking about food, how C2's been eating lots of pizza, obviously, but they want to get food from Uribe. They're also playing this role where C2 is the older sister who is frail and weak, and Colin is in fact the supportive younger sister. Obviously, based on their ages, that's accurate. But I find it funny because Colin always plays the frail character. So for her to be the supportive one and not the frail one is kind of funny because it basically shows that Colin was probably not happy with that situation. I can imagine the conversation was probably like, okay, who gets to be the frail sister? And CJ's like, well, why don't you do it? I'm always playing a frail character. You be the person. So I assume that's what happened, considering these two are bickering during this conversation. They discuss about food again. They discuss Irby might get them. I think it was some kind of soup. I think they also want provisions as well before they do their mission. And where was it? They're talking about the food again. Nothing really that serious. Clean up the place. Yeah, it's a mess. They eventually get to this point where they go through the photos. Yeah, right here. So apparently Lucia's been playing piano since he was 3 years old. I didn't know that. And I messed up my intelligence video, which I'm glad Ryan pointed out because I forgot. He wasn't the only one, obviously. Then we see this part where Lucia's helping Rivel, and C2 thinks that Lucia's only doing this because, or not Lucia's only doing this, that Shirley's only here because she forced herself into the situation. I kind of find it funny that both agree to this because Shirley's very shy and normally would never take that type of initiative to go and approach Lelouch. What I think happened was Rivel asked Shirley to come and it kind of surprised her or something like that because I don't think she would just walk in there. One of Shirley's biggest hurdles in R1 was just asking Lelouch out, even approaching him about anything. So I don't think she forced the issue. I think Rivel had more of a hand into it. But again, we don't know for sure what happened. They speculated their opinion. I speculated mine. This is funny. I'll break your cheekbone. You pissed me off. That's Colin to C2, by the way. Which is also kind of like Ray and Asuka. All right, I got to stop with the comparisons. The video will come out at some point. Okay. So after this, they were mentioning about, what they think what actually happened. Again, I don't agree with that. And then we see later on in photos here where Lelouch beat some noble and took his positions after a gambling event, I guess, and Rolo's like a little embarrassed. It's kind of funny. His face is actually kind of cute there. And then eventually, but here we are working ass off. Lelouch is playing around. Right, because Lelouch clearly had a choice in the matter, right? Because his memories were tampered with. Come on, guys. That's not fair, okay? Then C2 says here, I'm going to get your memories back because, our contract. And then Colin says, you better be zero because if you're not, I'll be really pissed. And I think that's important too because it emphasizes or explains why Colin was a little more willing to accept Lelouch's answer in the next episode, which we're about to go over, because I will admit their encounter wasn't the greatest when she asked him about everything that took place in Common Island. But this little dialogue here she says to herself, I guess it's not really dialogue then. But anyways, her thoughts that she's thinking here, well, that was redundant. Anyhow, what we learn from this is that she wants him to be zero, and as long as he is zero, she's okay with that. Almost to the point where she just ignores what Lelouch did, which I don't think is really fair. And if I was writing this, I probably would have changed that to, in fact, have them fight throughout the story and actually deal with this conflict head on. Because the problem is with C2 and Lelouch's Colin and Lelouch's conflict in the story is that once that one discussion occurs, the story kind of moves on and forgets about it. When in reality, that should have been something that was gone over many times. Kind of how like Suzaku would constantly ask Lelouch about only one time, but he still held it over his head that he killed Euphemia, and that was mentioned in turn 17. And turn 21, they mentioned it again how, or he mentioned again how Lush killed Euphemia. So they should have, I think, kept Colin bringing it up more and more for the story instead of just kind of forgetting about it and ultimately becoming a lover to Lush, which I don't mind the romance part, but we can't really ignore the setups that were established early on. It's one of the examples of R2's rush plots. I think this picture drama was established to kind of explain basically the plans and preparation to save Lelouch, C2 and Colin's motivations for joining up with Lelouch, and what he's been doing since his time because they've been watching him, which is why they chose to, I assume that's why they chose to go after the building that was by the Chinese Federation so they could escape the Chinese Federation if something bad happened. Ultimately, Lelouch took advantage of that and they were able to get Sanctity. And that's it. And again, a little bit of fan service, but it's pretty good. It added something to the story. And that's what I like about picture dramas. Don't just give me filler. Explain what happened in the middle. That's your job as picture dramas. So these first two, pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Okay. Let me close that out. How's this going over here? Oh, it's going pretty well. Surprisingly, I'm not dead yet. Anyways, you don't know what I'm talking about. It's okay. I'm looking at my gameplay footage. Let's get to hold on. I don't know why I had my browser. I closed out accidentally. That was not intentional. Okay, let's go to turn 2. And before I actually go through the stuff, let's read some comments real quick, and then we'll get into it. I won't read too many, but I'll just keep going. Are we the ones that I think are the most interesting? Not that none of them. They're all interesting, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. Doesn't even know he's bad. He keeps doing things or realizing it. That's a fair point. I think Izaku does know he's bad. In that last picture drama, he definitely acknowledges what he's doing isn't correct. He also acknowledges the fact that the Japanese people see him as a traitor. Even Anya mentions it later on in turn, I don't know, let's say 7, I think. Yeah, he's more of an anti-hero. Who would Suzaku date if Yumi is eliminated if only Fia lived? One of the few people that isn't. Yeah, it's very depressing. I agree. The sales question Zaku is the most innocent since she never flirts with him or anything like that. Yeah, it's basically it's one sided. Unlike Shirley, it's never ever visual. It's never visually shown. Like she never shows any indication she might be interested in that way. She does act like a mother figure for most of the story to Suzaku, kind of like Misato and to Shinji. So, conversation with Chino? I don't think so. That would be interesting, though. Why do people keep saying Saku thinks he's a good person? He admits he's a sinner. Yeah, I'm about to say he's awful. He admits he's awful. Gino's great grandfather would, yeah, he would be. Alto was a really cool character. I'm not even like, I mean, Reign of Darkness has problems, but Alto was not one of them. Picture Drama is actually compelling drama. Yeah, it's surprising when you actually put effort, it can be really good. I shouldn't be saying. I mean, look. If you don't like Suzaku Haruhi, it's totally fine. He's a very polarizing character. I've been in the fan base or interacting rather for over a year now, like every day basically, and I can definitely tell you that yeah, people really don't like his character. And that's fine. He's supposed to be the foil to Lelouch. That's kind of what he does. He's very good at it, being the opposite. Colin with the JoJo part, level 6 of music halls. Oh man. I haven't seen that season yet, but I heard it. I heard it's pretty good. I never watched. Not to piss off anyone here, but I watched part 1 and 2. And season wide be 1, 2. No, yeah, seasons 1, 2, and 3. 2 and 3 being the entire Star Wars Crusaders. 1 is the Phantom Blood and Battle Tendency. And I stopped after Star Wars Crusaders because I watched a little bit of Diamonds Are Unbreakable, and I didn't like the art style. And same go to Golden Wind. But I wanted to watch this one because we're back to the family again. I mean, no offense to Josuke, but I'm not a fan of that whole storyline because Joseph is my favorite JoJo. Actually, Jonathan. and then Joseph. So I didn't like the fact they made him have like a bastard child. And then but with this one, we're with Jolene and Jotaro. So I'm more interested in that than Geo, who that whole thing is so stupid with Geo. I don't want to go into that. That's a very that's a take no one really agrees with. I haven't seen Demon Slayer, so I can't compare. I can watch anime of just Colin C2. You know what? That would have been fun OVA. There is another audio drama for R2. But yeah. Mostly just comes around to the morals. He's not going to go around saying that he's personally better than Zero. Mostly hates the ideology. Hello, Super Saiyan group. I think that's what you're saying. Super Saiyan J group. I thought Rivel was pronounced Rivel, not how people call him. Is it Rivels or Rivel? Isn't it Rivel? What's up, dude? I thought it was Rivel. Subjectively speaking, Shirley's the cutest character in the show. I thought you were going to say objectively speaking. I think Gee is like C2. You have no idea how much that upsets me. Not what you said, but the actual the content of what you said. Not your statement. I don't care about. I mean, I'm not. You don't piss me off, but that sentiment is a big problem in Janissary Code because they try to make Gigi so much like C2, but they miss the point altogether. Instead of trying to actually make someone has share some of C2's personality and deeper elements to her character, they made Gigi how do I put this? They made her cute, innocent like C2, and made her dress up in a bunch of stuff. But that's it, though. They missed everything else about C2's character. And so far, anyways, I haven't gone to the whole Janissary Code story, but so far, Gigi is just playing dress up with Al for like 3 hours. I guess that's fun if you're Al and you're actually there. Man, the fan service of Gigi, you know what Gigi is basically? They took Colin and C2 and combined them into one character, at least from the looks point of view, because her hair is spiky and all over the place, and they gave her a very large assets. But they also made her look somewhat like C2 and an immortal, so they must have combined the two to design Gigi. Just the visuals, not the character themselves, because she's nothing like Colin. I think they were towards the end, but it's hard to say. Is it cold? Yeah, she is. She is definitely. Can we say that some of the looks that Lush makes are kind of cringe? Yeah, I don't deny that. I don't deny that. Yeah, Urbe is MVP. Absolutely agree. Some people actually calculate how many people Lush end up killing. It was more like World War II, over 80 million people. You know what? It's funny you mentioned that. Funny you mention that. I'm going over the kill count right now for R2, and I don't even know how you come to that conclusion. Because, yeah, I don't know. Because when Lush went to go fight Schneisel at the end, I believe he had like, a couple thousand troops with him against Schneissel's forces. I don't think they were even in a million once. I'm not sure how that was calculated. I'll let you know when I'm done my R2 analysis of how many people were killed. I can tell you that in R1, given everything we see, now granted, if it's discussing everything we don't see, then maybe they're right. But from a visual point of view, I think R1 only had over 1,000 people that were killed, most of whom by Euphemia. Now, granted, Lelouch did tell Euphemia to kill the Japanese people, and you could, I guess, reasonably assume that we don't see every single one that was killed. So, granted, it's probably a lot more than that. But even then, I don't see 80 million. 80 million is a lot. I mean, okay, we'll find out when I go through my analysis. I'm not sure how they calculate that. I know there was a whole thing about how many people Light Yagami killed when they took his death note and they took all the pages and did some estimation of how many people he'd probably kill a day and how many people he wants to kill throughout the whole series. So at least that made sense. But with Lelouch, I don't think he killed that many people. But I'll let you know when I go over the kill count completely. Lelouch defeated Schneisel. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's the case or not. Anyways, let's go to turn 2. All right, so here's turn 2. This is actually not the first image you see. This is there because I needed it for a thing I was making. So this is not actually the first one you should see. I have the intro. That's the first thing. Here's what I was talking about earlier, by the way. See that they're baiting Toto versus Guilford? Never happens, by the way, but they are baiting it. The Vincent shown here with Rollo, because that's his nightmare frame. So there's currently action going on in the Babel Tower. If you remember last time, Lelouch got his memories back, and Colin essentially saved him with Urbe. and the Black Knights are trying to get Lelouch out of there. Where they're going to go, we don't know yet. But I mean, we do know, but we don't know. Anywho, here's Kalaris in the G1 base, covering the exit so the Black Knights cannot escape. We see Colin in a very wonderful position, and she's pissed off at Lelouch. She wants to go talk to him. We didn't see what happened at the end of R1, in case you know that was a big climax at the end, cliffhanger, when Suzaku shoots at Lelouch, his head. We find out his identity. The two of them raise a gun after each other. Lelouch misses. Suzaku pins him down. He points to Colin saying, "Would you really defend him?" And she runs away, which I don't really blame her because she was kind of upset with the whole situation. And then Suzaku brings him to the Emperor. Thank God he doesn't kill him, but he easily could have. We see Charles staring down Lelouch with those eyes. And ultimately Suzaku is like, "I will become the Knight of Seven." And Charles like, "Okay." Would you, he also said he'll do it to betray his friends. And Emperor Charles like, "Okay, that's cool." He rewrites his memories. And he says that he will forget about not only Marion and Zero. And he'll become Julius Kingsley, which I guess was added later on in the Akito the Exile story. We don't see it here. She just says, "Before you say anything, I don't know who gave him the Geass power, even though..." No, that's not it. She said, "I was not the one who gave him the Geass power." She knows it's V2. She's known this whole time. That's the whole problem with the whole thing I mentioned in the last episode, which she's like, "I'll tell you when you're ready. I won't lie to you. I want you to win." Okay. So the guy comes in, a guard. Oh, I'm sorry. Before that, Lucia's like, "Oh, Rollo, I know I had a sister, but not a brother. Who the hell is Rollo?" So he's at least aware of him. I think Rollo kills these guards, but I don't know for sure. Or he takes them to where the Vincent is, so you can pilot it against the Black Knights. I'm not sure which is which in this situation here. Lelouch then realizes I can't pilot this nightmare frame, so when the next guy shows up, he uses Geass on him, and this pose is just so bizarre to me. And with that ability, or the Geass power on him, he's able to take his nightmare frame, and C2's like, I know you have to use eye contact and all, but were those theatrics necessary? And he goes, "I don't need comments from a witch." And then she smiles. There's a bunch of flirting moments between these two in the series. My video discussing all the moments between, not discussing, just showing all the moments between C2 and Lelouch. Have them all in case you're curious. But yes, this is it's really funny stuff, or good stuff rather. Okay, then we see Kalaris talking to Guilford, and they obviously want to go deal with the situation. But I think Kalaris wants to handle it on his own. Well, Guilford's like, "Okay, whatever." I believe what's happening there. I want to make sure I didn't miss that. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think there was much going on there. Colin kills a nightmare frame with the new arm, I guess, because she lost the old one in the last battle. Lucius is directing orders from his room. Eventually, Uribe says he's a student, which I guess I said last time that Uribe was like, "Okay, Lelouch might be a student." Now he's saying, yeah, he's definitely a student. So Uribe has too much knowledge. Keeping him alive is probably a bad thing, I guess. Because, again, how would that have worked out? But anyhow, I don't want to keep rambling on about that. Just a thought in my head. We see all the members talking to Kalaris and how they're losing to the Japanese forces, specifically the Black Knights. It's just like what happened in Stage 2. They kept changing their communication signals, like the codes, so they can't keep intercepting them, but they keep failing anyhow. The same type of situation as R1, where Lelouch takes control, commands the Black Knights, and they're just defeating the Britannia forces, even taking some nightmare frames as well. So it's see here they took the Sutherlands like last time. So again, the two are mirroring each other, almost the same thing actually. They take out this Britannian soldier here who ejects. Then Colin meets with Lelouch and he goes, "I'm glad you're the two of us." Points the gun at him. Again, she didn't bring a necklace for her USB, so she puts it in her boobs. Is what it is, guys. Charles talks to Suzaku, and this is kind of a weird scene, not because of what they're doing, but what is said. So he brings him to the Sword of Akasha because he's the only one who knows about Geass and Zero. Well, that's not true, because Bismarck knows too. So was Charles lying, or was it a retcon? I don't know. Because Bismarck knows about Geass because, I don't know, he happens to have one. I know that it was supposed to be a plot twist about about Bismarck's ability. And I know in the films, it's stated early on that Suzaku or Bismarck tells Suzaku, I have a Geass ability, I'm aware of it. And then throughout the films, they talk about that because, again, he knows. This scene is not in the films for that reason. Anyhow, so Colin talks to Lelouch about what happened, how she ran away, and did you use Geass on me. One thing that Colin is concerned about, and I think it's a very reasonable understanding. I mean, if you a reasonable complaint, if you know that not complaint, I'm sorry, quandary. If you know Lelouch has the ability to control people and command them to do whatever he wants, did she serve Lelouch because he forced her to, or because she actually wanted to? And Lelouch told her that, your mind was your own, which is technically true, but as I stated in several videos, he does lie to her here because he said, he basically implied he didn't use Geass on her when he did. The command was very, wasn't that serious. He just answered a bunch of questions. That was it. But he did use Geass on her. So technically, this is not accurate. And I mean, he wasn't technically completely telling the truth to her. It's kind of like Obi-Wan Kenobi. From a certain point of view, I wasn't lying to you, I guess you could say here. Colin says that, I wanted to leave so much that I became a slave to Zero. I guess the idea that she wanted to leave, she served him willingly, that she became a slave. I'm still lost as to what the hell she means by this. My only interpretation, I guess, is she was hoping she wasn't going to become a slave of Zero, and she was doing it willingly. But again, I don't know. Maybe it's the translation, the dub or sub, but either way, I don't know what the hell she was talking about here. So much so I wouldn't become a slave. Then Lelouch ruins the moment by pointing out he can see her boobs. Great. And by the way, this is, in case you're wondering, this is what Glare King was talking about earlier. Everyone was looking at this. How would you not notice the USB? Again, a necklace would have been a much better way. Because, I mean, if someone banged into her, it pops out, right? Who the hell knows? Anyhow, C2 informs them about the guards that are coming, surrounding the whole building. And then Clara's like, we'll destroy them, whatever. And then Colin is in her bunny suit looking at the map. Lelouch puts this his jacket on her, which I guess makes up for everything else he did. Again, of all the things that happened in this show, I really feel like this could have been a much better, could have been handled way better. I wish that Colin had brought this up again with him later on in the story. Maybe when they were in the Ikaruga, when they were at the Chinese Federation, instead of that whole scene where she falls on him, they could have had this conflict again. I know in stage 7 she slaps him in the face and she's upset with certain things he was doing, which I guess kind of is a good way to keep this going, because she basically says there, like, you're Zero, you got to keep the thing going to the very end. Almost telling herself that without you, I don't know what to do with my life, which is her same response also when he was revealed to be Lelouch. When Zero was revealed to be Lelouch, I should say. She again didn't know what to do with her life because she thought that everything, like, she had to follow Zero's orders to the very end. That's all that was all was going for her, because she felt like if she was indebted to him. She told him at the end of Turn 22 that without you, I would have died, and so I'm very grateful for everything you've done. To a point where she's so grateful she'll do anything that he says. I guess without Lelouch, she has no purpose, but still, I wouldn't have handled like this. It kind of cheapened it a little bit at the end of R2, R1, but that's what they decided to do. So there's that. They explain again what's going on with the tower. Lelouch says everything will work out well because of that one thing that I mentioned before, how they covered the whole exit. And also, Dieter had a line ready for him to do his little communication at the end. They slipped that in there. If you weren't paying attention, you might have missed it. Then we get to a similar situation in R1, where instead of Suzaku coming up with the Lancelot to disrupt the operations, we have the Vincent piloted by Rollo, which the Black Knight members mentioned how it has similar elements to the Lancelot. Again, mirroring each other. It takes out most of the Nightmare frames, and Lucius starts to panic. And then C2's like, why are you panicking? You have Uribe and Colin with you. We see the Vincent, by the way, which is really a badass Nightmare frame. Not only just in look, it had like this arm that can blow up a Nightmare frame. It goes like this, and it fires a blast from the elbow. And it also has these two blades, which become a big spear when he combines them. I think it's a spear, which is also really cool. He's able to defeat both Colin and Uribe, because he uses the Geass ability to make them lose or stop their perception of time. Then we get to one of the best scenes in the entire show. Like, I mean, I'm not even joking when I say that, or I'm not being facetious. Where Oribe sacrifices his life to stop the Vincent and Rolo, saying how you might be a student. I don't care. I know that you want to help the Japanese people. You meant it when you said that we're not disposable, and so he gives his life up to stop the Vincent. And by the way, this is another reason why I got really angry when Shonen Showdown said that Colin made the holy sword look like Swiss cheese or something like that. When they like, are you really ignoring the sacrifice that Oribe made to save Lelouch? Now, granted, did it work out completely? No. Did it succeed fully? No. But it still bought them time, and it damaged the Vincent enough that he had to leave the battle. Then we see this scene of Colin, which is persistent throughout the whole episode of this angle, which is, I mean, all things considering, it's not the worst angle of Colin. It's not the best either. It is going to be an ongoing theme, though. At least with her other outfit, it's not as bad as this one, but you'll be seeing this a lot. Now, here's something that when I first watched R2, this never made any sense to me. And then when I watched the sub, it was much better. In the dub, she says the following: I have more bad news. Your device is ready to go. And I was thinking to myself, wait, why would that be bad news if it's ready to go? Like the bombs are planted. I was like, wait, why is that bad news? You're the one, like, that's not bad. That's good news. We're ready to go. In the sub, she says, unfortunately, I only have the news that we're ready to go. So in one instance, the dub says that the planting the bombs, finishing it up, was a bad thing. And the sub, it said, no, that's the only good news I have. It's one of those things where, you watch it once, you kind of like just whatever, you just ignore it. But going through it again, like, that's a really bad dubbing. There's some bad dubbing moments in R1 as well. Most of the time, it's pretty good. But then you have these moments like this where clearly that's not what the story said, because that makes absolutely no sense. And who just wanted to point that out. Lelouch then activates the bombs and makes Uribe's sacrifice in vain. That's right. The Vincent didn't stop fighting them because of Uribe's sacrifice. It stopped fighting them because of the explosion on the back, because they collapsed the floor. That's right. Then the building falls over and it kills Colaris. They escape, by the way, to the Chinese Federation. Okay, this angle's a little better, but still, it is what it is. And Colaris dies by being an idiot by covering the exit, which was by a building. Lelouch's laugh here, I'm not going to lie, it's a little cringy. It also doesn't make him seem like a good person. Again, we were discussing earlier, he's more of an anti-hero. Then Guilford takes over because there's no one else. He invokes Cornelia, which are like, oh, the princess, who's gone, by the way. We don't know what happened to her. And then we see the best Dalton son. Where is he? He's right here. This is Gladiator King's favorite Dalton kid. These two, unfortunately, died next episode, I believe. Or I think it's 4. Then Zero announced himself using the that little line that D-Tart set up, which he goes, the only person who knew about it was Zero. And then he does his whole speech about, like, I'm here, I'm back. The world is still awful. That's why I had to come back. The resurrection of Zero. We see the Holy Sword, no, Holy Sword. See, now I did it. The Knights of the Round watching, and it's so depressing because you don't see, you see Nadia, right, with Bismarck, Monica, and Gino, but you don't see Dorothea, and Anya's over there. I'm covering her, but trust me, she's there, and so is Bradley. For some reason, Dorothea just wasn't at this meeting. I guess she had better things to do, like not being relevant, I guess. I mean, Nadia had more scenes than Dorothea. One of the biggest mistakes about R2 is that the Knights are around. They don't get much time to shine. One thing I mentioned for a fix would to be have Knights of the Round relevant in R1. They should be in the entire story. They should have had them as like potential threats in the first season as well. And if you want to ask, okay, well, if they have their best nightmare frames, how can they fight against them? The only thing I would say there is they just don't have them. I think until Lancelot was made, were they even making other custom nightmare frames at the time? So maybe they could have been using simpler nightmare frames. Maybe they all weren't at Area 11 either. They could have been other conflicts. But I think they should have given the Knights of the Round more time in the series. And if they had them in the show as early as R1, it could have been a lot better than what you saw here. I'm not sure how you would have done it. I'm not exactly a writer, but that's just my thoughts on that. Oh, there he is, right there. The best Dalton boy. And the only one who actually survives, too. So, okay. There's the Knights Around. Gino's like, hey, I thought Zero was dead. He is dead. Oh, why don't we go take it over? Why don't we just go in there and kill him? Because we'll violate treaties and stuff with the Chinese Federation. Who cares? And Anya's like, yeah, but it's slippery slope. And Colin's like, he got her rescue and also saved us from the Chinese Federation because basically the what's it called? The United States of Japan was established, and their home base is going to be this the consulate here. One room will be the whole country, and then Raksha's like, I love Zero. He's so amusing, which is kind of funny. Go High apparently was Geassed by the Lelouch. My only question is, when did Zero do this? Because he had to Geass him, then switch with C2 with the costume, and give him also the voice recording. So it must all happen pretty quickly. They used the cover, by the way, of the buildings to get to the Chinese Federation consulate. I assume they did it, by the way, to speed up time, because if they had, I'm not going to go into all of DX's complaint, but I will mention one that he said in that video, which was, how convenient is it that the Chinese consulate and the building they were at, the Babel Tower, were right next to each other, so they could just go from one to the other. What great writing, right, guys? My thoughts on this is pretty straightforward, but they could have had the Chinese consulate way far away from the Babel Tower, and they could have just said, okay, when the tower collapses, the Black Knights escape and they slowly run to the Chinese consulate. My thought is this: they had them next to each other just to speed up the story a little bit, because either you have them fleeing to the consulate or you have them right next to each other and you save like an episode of time. Either way, it doesn't bother me. That's like a really small complaint. But I was like, I think you're not being fair to the plot. They simply want to put things together to save time. I also think, again, this is all headcanon, but I also think that they chose the Babel Tower location, the Black Knights, to save Lelouch because it was right by the Chinese Federation in case something bad happened. But again, that's just speculation on my part. Anywho, so Shinkei sees a nightmare frame and he goes, if you come here, you'll violate national law. That's not it. I forgot the word is. My brain's hurting me. It's not national law. It's something else. Damn it. I can't think of the term. I'll look it up right after this. And then Roll's like, I'm here to kill Zero in that Shinji voice. Let me look it up real quick because now it's bothering me. Give me 2 seconds here. Oh, come on. That's so stupid. Give me 1 second. You gotta be kidding me. What the heck? What the heck? Where's the transcripts? Huh. Did they get rid of them? Whatever it's called. It's something. God, 1 second. I don't know why I couldn't find it on my other browser. Okay. I really want to know exactly what he said, because now it's bothering me. Diplomatic chambers, you'll vastly, or your ones who has followers. Something about international violation or something. International. I think it's international law. Whatever. Yeah. So far, I can't remember what it's called. But anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Anything else I missed before we go into the comments? Since C2 couldn't find Nully, it proves my theory earlier. Lelouch could have won the battle and looked for. Oh yeah, they mentioned in early on this episode that they sent people to find Nully after Lelouch was captured in Common Island, and also they couldn't find Sayako either. I mentioned in my R1 Stage 25 video that they could have asked the Black Knight members, a couple, to go to Common Island just to keep it under surveillance during the battle, and then afterward they can go in there and rescue Nully. Instead, Lelouch went himself, which comprised the whole operation. The fact that they sent people there anyways, even after the fact, proves in my thing to be true that they could have just sent a small unit of soldiers to protect the island before Lelouch comes once he wins the battle against the Britannian forces in the Tokyo settlement. The fact that the fact that Lelouch had to go, I don't think was necessary at all. I mean, if there was magical forces in play, which, by the way, no one even, this is another thing I don't want to I don't want to shit in the story too much here, but it's kind of frustrating that Lelouch doesn't bring up the fact that he was teleported twice to like he was teleported to Common Island, doesn't really question it, and then Nelly was teleported to Common Island as well, and again doesn't question it until later on when he says, "Oh, did you take us to the island to observe us?" But it was still kind of weird how he never asked C2 about any of that stuff. It's almost like he just knew V2 could teleport people, but they never discussed when he learned that. It wasn't handled too well, and also if he knew that Nelly was transported by a supreme being, then going to Common Island would have been a waste of time anyhow because she probably won't be there by the time he gets there. Or if she is there, which she was in sort of Akash, I believe, he couldn't save her anyways. So no matter how you look at it, I think the plot continues to prove the point that Lelouch really shouldn't have gone to Common Island. He could have sent other troops there to watch it and come back later on, and when he won the battle. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents on that one. Yeah, the Collins and Lelouch I thought was too rushed. Lelouch used Geass and Colin. Colin wanted Lelouch to go slave. Only support 0. Let's see. Anina's shown somewhere in the lab, angry because she's working out with Lloyd and Schneisel. Okay, those are all my thoughts on this episode. Not the worst one. The series 1 was great. This one is all right. It's the problem that it had too much of stage 2, and there's nothing wrong with mimicking stage 2, which is a good episode, but it was too much like it. So I'm gonna have to say it was not the best one in R1, R2 rather. All right, comment time, and then we'll go through 3, and then when that's done, the plan is I'm going to probably use the bathroom. Kind of drink a lot of water. Change my battery. We'll do some summons because in the hold on. Excuse me. We'll do some summons. Maybe I'll go through my Discord if anyone posted any memes. I doubt they did, but if you did, I'll shake it really quick. But we'll do some summons. I got 3,000 Geass diked because of Lucia's birthday, so I figured, hey, we'll go spend it like an idiot on summoning characters, which we won't get anyhow. And then I'll play some. Then I'll finish the story of the birthday celebration. It's literally just one part. Okay, now that I'm done with that, let's go to the comments. These are the ones that are interesting. I don't want to go through every single one because sometimes, yeah. Okay. It's going. Why do people make similarities to Lelouch and Light? This is the question that has bothered philosophers for millennia. Why do people compare Lelouch to Light when really Schneisel is like Light and Lelouch isn't? The reason why they compare them is simply like this. They are both characters from a story. Okay, hold on. Do I have to burp or not? Body, please decide. Okay. Sorry about that interruption. Let's try this again. Lelouch and Light are both teenagers who get a supernatural power that came from a deity-like being that use that ability to change the world for the better in their own perspective. One is motivated by boredom and a childish form of justice. The other is motivated by helping out their family, specifically Nelly, living in a better world. The reason why they're compared often is because they seem on the surface like the same character. When in reality, as I just pointed out, their motivations are very different. The way they enact their plans is very different. How they deal with people is very different. Their storylines are different. The themes of Code Geass and Death Note are very different, although there are some similar ones, but generally very different. But it's surface level. Code Geass and Death Note are similar on surface level. Beyond that, it's very different. I mean, Death Note is a crime drama with some supernatural elements. Code Geass is a war story with supernatural elements. So, I mean, conflicts are larger. Death Note's focusing more on individual people. I mean, if you go back and forth, they're very different stories, but it's just surface level. Two teenagers with a supernatural ability changing the world in their own image. On that, very different shows. If that's what you're wondering. Or Barry, I hope that answers your question. That sounds like a grand total of all the deaths in the show, not how many people Lelouch himself kills. See, that's the thing. It could be that as well, because Remember, Schneizel killed everyone in Pendragon. I haven't looked at the population of Pendragon yet, but I assume it's in the millions. Before that, though, when the flare was fired at the Tokyo settlement, 35 million, 10 million for sure dead, 25 we don't know, probably also dead too. The Pendragon one didn't have the limiter, so it killed everybody. I assume maybe 40, 50 million at that point. Who the heck knows? So the point is, lots of people died in the story. But did Lelouch kill those people? That I don't know. That's a very good point. The- That's true. That's all I gotta say about that one. Arco has a World War II story. Yeah, it does. Lelouch's view worse than Hitler. So Lelouch must have killed more people than Hitler did. Um, wait, is that canon? Lelouch's viewed as worse than Hitler, than Ari Code Hitler. Um, I went through that. I don't remember seeing that. If you could emphasize that further, I'd like to know. I don't recall that being a thing, but okay. I saw someone saying Charles could name Zaku as the Knight of Seven. Yeah, he could. I'm not sure what the. That's what he did, right? He also had to. He had to prove himself, which you see in Lancelot and Gurren. A nitpick I have for R2 is that Lloyd not showing up in early episodes. He's labeled the best kind of relief. Yeah, he doesn't show up for a while, actually. It's kind of depressing. And not only that, but because Suzaku reports under Charles now, you don't see much interaction between him, Cecile, and Lloyd. Wait, I already said it right. Yeah, him, Cecile, and Lloyd, as you did, let's say, in R1, because he changed his allegiance. Make the Knight of Seven Charles. Okay, bro. Knock it out. Well, that was easy. um, should I remember. See, I don't know. This is a question I've seen a lot. Did Lelouch remember being Julius? The answer is probably no, but it's hard to say because when he got his memories back, he should have remembered. He didn't forget anything happened before, right? He was on a roll about the past school events. So my answer is yes. He probably did know he was Julius. The problem is Akito came after R2, so what you get here is a bit of retconning. I love Akito. I think the visuals are fantastic. The story itself, when you don't include the Geass elements and Lelouch in the story, Akito Exile is a brilliant masterpiece. But when you include the Geass elements and Lelouch's appearance in the story, it dips significantly. If it was just about the W0 members, a unit fighting against the Euro Britannians, it would have been a fantastic story in of itself. And maybe just give Shin, Hyuga, Geass power versus Layla's and define them both clearly with how they worked. You have a good anime. But you put Julius in there because the fans can't watch Kogias without Lelouch, which unfortunately, I gotta admit, the more I look at the stuff that comes out for this IP, I guess that's how it is because it seems to always tailor to Lelouch. Um, yeah, again, don't bring like if you really want to go through it, the retconning it's a problem. That's why they should remake R2 with all these things in mind, including Oz Reflection as well. Yeah, Charles the hypocrite. What can I say? If this is literally Earth, if humanity went down a dark path, Earth doesn't need that much technology. This is the embodiment of countries wanting power, so they'll keep a bunch of bullshit. Damn. Playboy money's who stick at their leverage. Yeah, no, it's look, Kogias definitely knows what it's doing. We'll say that much. I'm gonna kill God. Okay, I'm gonna do a job now. Yeah, that's basically what happened, pretty much. He never again. It's hard to. They never really went that direction in the story. Um, I wouldn't go that far. Luke doesn't physically abuse Colin. He just simply doesn't show her the same affection she probably deserves and kind of ignores her. I wouldn't say Joker Harley. That's a little rough because Joker literally beats on Harley all the time. Like it's their situation is so awful. I mean, you want to know who Joker and Harley is? That's Light and Misa Amane. That's Joker and Harley Quinn. If we're gonna be more honest about like, I'm not saying you're not being honest. I'm just saying like if you want to be more technical, that's who I would compare it to. I think Colin meant that she would do anything for Zero. Basically, it means that she chose to have no free will of her own and do whatever Zero says. Very healthy romance, right, guys? Yeah, it's not the greatest. I agree. Um, Colin, demand answers after you, and everyone else escapes. What's she going to do? Shoot Lush? If he makes Geass her, then everyone is dead. No, I don't think so. I think the gun was just to keep him honest. He was not gonna do that. Um, Uribe wouldn't have abandoned Alush on Common Island. Heck, even Chiba wouldn't, since she knows how important Zero is. Uh, yeah, probably. But again, it's just different because remember, those two weren't with Allude when he was a student. Colin felt betrayed on so many levels when he was revealed to be Zero. That's why it's hard to compare Chiba and Urbe. They didn't know Lelouch was a student or he didn't. I'll put it like this: he didn't have the same relationship to them as he did with Colin. That's why it's a little different. But you're right. I mean, they wouldn't. Now, if Chiba was with Lelouch in school, which would be weird because she's like what 28 and he's 17. I guess as a teacher, then maybe you have something. But remember, it was Colin felt betrayed by the Lelouch. She said using us, but it was more than that. It was more like using her. And again, the whole thing how he was a student and didn't tell her, and she was mixed emotions right there. She definitely lost it because of that situation. It's not just him being Lelouch. It was the fact that she knew him before, and it's very complicated. I don't want to spend 3 hours on it, but I hope that makes sense. D-Tard is like the biggest fanboy. I mean, no, Tomoki's the biggest fanboy, and then D-Tard. But D-Tard only a fanboy because of like the wrong reasons. Damn, pretty much. Yeah, he was. That's true. Yeah, exactly. That's basically what happened. Yeah, I think that's a good point too. He doesn't really know what happened because Colin actually knows. You don't know, but if you knew, you know. Uh, I thought Anya was okay. I liked Bismarck. I know that he wasn't nicest person, but I thought Bismarck was really cool. I think Dorothy and Monica had things going on for them, but no development. And Bradley is the one I just oh god f Bradley. I hated that character. Dorothy got like one scene and one line. That's pretty bad. It is yeah. Anya and Gino Bismarck, well, that's because you only saw them, which is kind of depressing. Poor Nadia, she had two scenes, no dialogue. She wasn't killed off. I really wanted to read Anna's reflection. She's also in, I believe, Lost Colors too. Anya is Marion. F her. Yeah. Colin is a teen and bad priorities. Everybody's an adult knows how to prioritize. Plus, he hates traitors like Zaku. It's true. She's very mysterious. Yeah, she's I guess she kind of reminds me of Quan in Razafan or in I'm trying to think who she is in Neon Genesis Evangelion because she's kind of like Ray from a sort of similar to Ray. They're around the same age, and they have like an issue with their past and stuff. Although Ray is more like C2, it's complicated. I'm trying to figure out like comparing the two, like what they share in common. There's a bunch, by the way. How do you feel, Rollo? Yeah, he was a victim, not just Charles, but the whole Geass order, mostly V2, to be honest, or more accurately, I would say. Good character, tragic. Yeah, he's not that much better. Well, yeah, he was a trained killer, pretty much. Okay, I have to say, Art Saku went from wanting to kill Zero to capture quickly. Do you think Saku finding out Lush stopped it from killing him? Saku find out still care deep down. Yeah, I mean, in some level. All right, there you go. Okay, that explains how many people died. So Shinaizo killed almost a really wow, damn, holy crap, damn. Shinaizo killed all those people while blinking an eye. Wow. And remember, limiter was removed. Whoa. Shirley and Rolo should have stayed dead. Oh, damn, the Dark Lord has spoken. The Dark Lord. No, that was HBE, not Pendragon. HBE. What's that? I'm an idiot. You have to spell this out. Come on, moron. Octave was set between R1 and R2. It is, but there's certain parts about that contradicts and retcon stuff in R2. Oh, that's the whole world population? Is that what you're saying? No, it can't be. No, that's not what that is. Do you think Zero Capture will tie in Jezero Code? Not directly. What they'll probably do, again, this is assuming Jezero Code even lasts that long, right? But let's say it does, they'll probably put the characters in Jezero Code. They'll probably come some bullcrap way to combine the two stories. I mean, so far everything about Jezero Code is bullcrap, so it wouldn't surprise me. But they're very two different things. Zero Capture is part of the alternative anime universe with the films, and Jezero Code is its own thing. It's a different universe where everyone came together and everyone seems to like know everyone, even though that doesn't make any sense. Ow, my head hurts. Whatever. Tokyo, they lost 25 million, right? And Pendragon was 100 to 200 million people. Okay, so that's still pretty bad, though. That's still pretty bad. The whole empire. Oh god, I'm so stupid. The whole empire was 960 million. Okay, but like Pendragon was 200 million. Jesus, that's a lot. Oh, you're making assumptions. I see. Okay, well, I can do some research later too about it. That's about R2 in a nutshell. Like when I'm going over the death totals. I'm making stuff up, or not making. I'm making assumptions because they don't really tell you exactly how many people were present at one time and how many soldiers there were. So I have to like kind of guess a little bit. I'm to be probably like 9% accurate with that video whenever it comes out. Okay, we are almost 2 hours in, so I got to change my camera. I got to use the bathroom, and then we will move on to turn three memes, I guess. No, RGSR code with memes. Okay, but I gotta, like I said, I got to use the bathroom and change the battery. So let me just get that real quick, and let me just stop everything. One second here. Add to the stream. Add to the stream. Okay, and let me remove this because we don't need that anymore. Yay! Okay, hold my camera. Hold this the right battery. Oh, hold on. By the way, have you guys seen the original Helsing? I'm actually going through it right now out of pure interest because I've always seen Helsing Ultimate, so we'll see how good it is. The animation's much older than Helsing Ultimate, but you know what? Maybe it's not as bad as like Alchemist versus Brotherhood. Anywho, any more comments before we continue on? I don't know what the purpose gives Zaku, but I think maybe that would be confusing to be honest. I feel like the masked person has to be Al in some way. I was thinking that too, by the way. Maybe from his past or something. You know, I love those stories where like the person you're fighting is literally you from the future. I actually don't. No, Roll died. Roll didn't die. I mean, Roll didn't live. He died. Huh? Roll's dead. Okay, but yes, Shirley did live. That's true. Um, how they got the water? Why was there building desert interior? Oh, God. I'm not even gonna go there. That's a whole other thing. I heard it was good. It's brutal. Uh, Integra and Alucard relationship is confusing to me. It's basically master and servant. There's no love as far as I know. Shirley living is always a good thing. True. What's the point in Shirley being the movie again? I made a video if you want to watch that. I don't really want to rehash it here, but I went over in the video, and I'll definitely admit that a lot of it is me kind of trying to, I don't say headcanon, but try to get, take what the story gives and try to my best to put together. I will admit it was not it was more of a behind the scenes type of thing. It wasn't outright stay in the story in the way I presented it, but basically she was brought back to life, or she wasn't killed to help facilitate Lucia's body transfer to Jeremiah and C2. There's more details to that, but that's like in a nutshell, that's what it is. Okay, let's go to R3, R2. There's no R3. Can you imagine R3? It never, it won't happen. All right, R3 is turn 3. Damn, we did it twice. Wake up, man. Okay, so turn 3, we got a bunch of cool stuff going on here. Again, they keep baiting us because it is what it is. After the speech is concluded, he takes off his outfit, revealing him to be C2. Before that, Roll was going to Geass his way into the building, but because Lelouch called him from the gymnasium, he went back to school. Because obviously, if Lelouch is 0, then 0 isn't actually there. So that's why he decided to back out. So Roll leaves, and he has the locket, which gets into play later on. I love this part here when Colin says you have the whole, people jumping for you. Again, I don't like this conversation though, because they literally were. Colin was going to kill Luce like 2 minutes ago, and because he agreed to be 0, now she's like, okay. Again, it kind of cheapens a little bit what happened in the end of R1. But whatever. C2 takes the helmet off, and then Colin's like, we don't like when you keep secrets from us. You don't? We don't like it? You mean you don't like it? Now, this face, the reason why I love this face so much, I don't mean like C2 in general, because she's obviously attractive looking, but what I love about this face, this is a Lelouch expression, okay? This is how much Lelouch has influenced C2 at this point. She's acting like him. It's hilarious. Like this is what... I want to make maybe a image and compare the two, but this expression she's making, this is what Lelouch does all the time. This like arrogant, cocky look. It's perfect. It's one of the best expressions anyone makes in the entire series. It's so it tells you so much about C2 and Lelouch's relationship in this story at this point. Good stuff. All right, so Millie's making a bunch of food, or I should say she's telling Lelouch to make all this food, because as you know, Lelouch is a good cook. Again, what can't he do? And then Shirley, on the other hand, is not a good cook. She falls over like twice. It's pretty funny. And then when Millie brings up the fact that she likes Lelouch, she covers her mouth. Now, here's something that I found kind of weird, all right? I've speculated since I watched this story that Millie is probably bi because she loves to touch Shirley, in certain areas she shouldn't be, like, her boobs and stuff. There's like two images of it. One in the I believe in the bathroom that I think that Anya took a photo of it, and then of course one at the end of R1 in the what is it called? Those during the ending tracks, the ending credits, you see like photos from the story, and one of them shows Millie groping Shirley. Millie literally says here, and I got to check the sub to see if it's the same, but not that I don't mind having your dirty hands on my face. I'm thinking, okay, Millie's definitely bi because she literally touches Shirley multiple times in the story, and she even says like, "I don't mind having your dirty hands on my face." I actually briefly discussed this with Kato, not in person, but like on his channel. He made a video about Nina, and I posted like, I think Nina was bi. He's like, I'm not sure if it's true, and I'm like, are you sure? Because this scene here is like, Anyways, Lelouch realized everyone's memory was erased or rewritten to not remember Nullly because they're all talking about Rollo this whole time. I guess he didn't realize also that Shirley's memory was rewritten to act as if before all that stuff with Mao and her father and all that stuff, because she's back to the point where she calls Lelouch Lulu. So her mind's been messed up really badly by Geass. This is now the second time in a row. Anywho, that awesome stuff. We get to the scene where I think Rollo is talking to Valletta here about Lelouch hasn't regained his memories yet, and of course they're watching him this whole time. And Lelouch, by the way, is very much aware of this. This is actually one of my favorite parts of this whole season, where Lelouch is actually telling you mentally what he's thinking. How like they're watching me this whole time. I have to play my role and act normal, which he does even here. And Valletta doesn't even suspect anything, which makes him playing. He's definitely doing a good job there. He even says here, "I got to first limit this person, and then I'll move on there." And it was good seeing his whole. He was able to like figure out the situation pretty quickly, and he's able to pretend like he lost his memories. This girl's hair is kind of weird. It's like a Millie-esque sort of. I'm not sure what's going on with that one. So there's that, and so eventually happens here. Yeah, he mentions he used Geass on Valletta once. They can't use it again on her. I'm not sure why he stated that. Maybe a reminder to the audience that Geass can only work once on somebody. I'm not sure. Then we see Rollo is with Valletta again because they're part of the OSI. Lelouch knows that but can't act like it. Then the EU is fighting against Britannia, and Suzaku literally obliterates them like it's nothing. He does say like surrender, but like that really, how are they going to surrender? I mean, I'm not sure exactly how that was supposed to help. Anyways, he wipes them all out, and Chaz was watching from the distance. We learned from that past picture drama that he's been guiding Suzaku this whole time, and he's actually serving him. Canon is angry in this photo. I'm not sure. Here's another example of Lelouch might having some feelings for Millie. I mean, Millie having feelings for Lelouch because she's literally holding him in a very suggestive way. Although, given the events of what festival was it? The gender swap one, where she pretended to flirt with Lelouch as a guy, and he was a woman, so maybe they're just playing some roles here. But either way, you can kind of tell from this scene that Rivel was pretty pissed off that she's even making a moves on Lelouch, even though I thought she was dating Lloyd, but I guess they broke it off. Yeah, they said they broke it off. To someone else's point earlier in this stream, because Lelouch remembers all these events, it means that when he got his memories back, he didn't lose the old ones. So yes, he would have known about Julius. And he would have pretty messed up too, considering Shin, like, yeah, whatever. I'm not sure. It's confusing for sure. He mentions the locket he gave to Rollo, which was supposed to go to Nullly. He asked for it back, and Rollo said, no, it's mine. And Lelouch was like, okay, fine, you can have it. Damn, don't go crazy on me. Lelouch takes advantage of Rollo throughout the story by utilizing the journal he got, which discusses his tendencies. That's how he's able to manipulate him to do what he wants, in case you're wondering. Which I think you guys know that, but in case you didn't know. Then we get a part where Rollo just kills a guy because he might have overheard Geass, even though Valletta's like, no, but He's one of us. Roll doesn't play around. Absolutely not. Does not play around. Then we see the Black Knights are all like the remnants are sitting in their one little room in the United States of Japan. It's turn three. It's turn three, which means Colin must be bathing because if you remember in stage three, she was also bathing for two different reasons. But at least in this context, we don't see her naked, but she does get humiliated. Instead of Lelouch, C2 does it. Again, the two episodes basically mirror each other from the beginning of R1 to the beginning of R2. Although I'm not sure what Colin meant, like you should have been the bunny girl. I'm not sure how that would have worked. Didn't C2 have to like lead the troops? So technically, neither one had to be a bunny girl. Let's be honest here, but that's the role they picked for Colin. Is that Zero? And they're like, yes, I'm not Zero. It's kind of funny. And then, of course, Shinki knows about Colin Kozuki. Then Guilford tries to bait Zero by showing 256 special criminals that they were going to execute tomorrow, including Tamaki, Chiba, basically the Holy Swords, Ogi, and Tamaki. I like how, again, Toto is very stoic. He's been a very stoic character since like the start of the series. If he dies, he dies. It's fine. You know, he on some level, maybe this is the fate he expected to happen as a soldier. But I always like how Toto is always very stoic throughout the series. It's one of the reasons why I like his character a lot. Valletta's watching and she's upset because Ogi's going to be killed, and she likes him. If I was going to do like an analysis about the two characters, which I might in the future, you can see from this scene that she obviously cares a lot about him, which we kind of know. And I think it's because even though she fell in love with him as as Britannia Japanese, that's kind of a weird relationship, at least given how racist Britannia is. She still can't ignore the fact that Ogi took care of her when she lost her memories. He didn't kill her. He didn't take advantage of her sexually, as far as I know. And he did best to protect her, even though he was he was spying on her too, in all honesty. But he did take care of her, and so deep down she can't really ignore that. I also speculate if she still had her memories from the time they were together, so she knows everything that he did for her, and the time they spent together. Again, that's a speculation. So obviously Lelouch has to deal with this, but we got to buy Valletta a gift, and Shirley's like, we should go do it. And Lelouch said, all right, we'll go together. It'll be a date or something. Or he didn't say a date. Valletta, Shirley thought it was a date. Revel, this is why I hate you. We get a scene where C2 reveals that she gave Lelouch a special lens that will allow him to block out his Geass power. And she said, like, if it gets too strong, then it won't work. He said, okay, we'll have to finish the game until then. Now, here's a question I have. About this. Lelouch's power reached its peak in the end of turn 21 when he uses Geass, when both eyes were filled with Geass power, and he commanded C's world to not stop time. But in the next episode, he took off his lenses to use Geass on the Britannian soldiers. That's as strong as his Geass power I think was ever going to get. So my question is, why did the lens still work at that point if the lenses were not going to work if the Geass grew too strong? My only explanation is that they eventually got him new ones. Maybe Lloyd had made some stronger ones down the road. But given everything that C2 said, I'm not sure why his Geass power didn't overpower the lenses. And that would have been kind of cool, by the way. If the Geass power overrode the lenses, then the last couple episodes of the series, he would have to be careful about what he says around people. That might have been interesting. Anyways, it doesn't matter anyhow. It's just one thing I think the story didn't make that clear. Anywho, Millie grabs Rollo and they go to spy on Lelouch, thanks to Ribble's bullcrap. Here's that outfit C2 Shirley wears. Same one she wears in the film in the end of the first film. They're on a date, and Lelouch uses a bottle to see that everyone's watching him, which is what he predicted. They look at different items to purchase. Shirley is this the part where she sees? Oh, no, that's right. Shirley said, "I'll make this a date," which is it's kind of cute. I think this was actually, all things considered, was actually a very nice scene. Yeah, here's the bottle. He also, there's another thing I like about the scene too, right? So You don't just have a simple fan servicey, slice of life moment where Lucius is having fun with Shirley and they're getting a bottle for Fleta. He's also spying on the OSI units. He's very much aware of the whole situation, and his plan is to utilize the people around him as a distraction to get to the OSI units and ultimately defeat Rollo. He's like doing like a bunch of stuff at once, and it's really cool how the story shows this to you. I know that people like to complain. Well, one person likes to complain that Lelouch isn't really smart, everyone else is dumb, but you can't deny that in this scene, he is pretending to be Lelouch Lamperouge while shopping with Shirley to buy some wine, while also simultaneously making sure the OSI units are not on his tail, and he plans to utilize this whole event to get to them in order to take out Rollo, which is pretty good, and he also explains this to you as he's doing it, so you get both a well-executed plan, and you get to see his thought process when coming up with such plan. But whatever, Luce is just the Luce is only smart because they make him smart. Um, so he tells the owner, by the way, I want you to sing for me, which was to hit the fire alarm. He also tells Shirley to want to play a game. No, to pretend like I'm behind in the changing room, so they'll think I'm still there. Meanwhile, Shirley points out that the cable car, which is kind of ironic. We should go there sometime because he's like, "What were you looking at?" Again, it's a really cute scene. I mean, I'm not sure if Shirley and Lelouch were going to be a couple. I will say as much: if they had made Lelouch and Cito a couple in Resurrection, and they made Lelouch and Shirley a couple in this universe, I might have been okay with that. That's why her death pisses me off so much. I always imagine like Shirley would have been like the queen, not the queen. I guess the queen, because is C2 the queen of the Black Knights? Or is Colin the queen of the Black Knights? I guess Colin would be. So maybe Shirley would be like a pawn. I don't know. She's a pawn in Jedi Code. Whatever the case may be. I just imagine like a scene of Lelouch is sitting in the Ikaruga, and Shirley is right next to him in a Black Knight uniform. They're like a couple or something. I would have loved that. That would have been really awesome, but it wasn't meant to be. Anyways, he feels awful about what happened with the whole erasing her memories and which did to her father. And he also like, well, not only was her memories tampered with again, by the way, but so was the rest of the students. So this whole thing is weighing very heavily on his mind. But he has to be Lamperouge. He has to pretend like it doesn't bother him because he can't give himself away to the OSI units. Again, Lucius is very good at acting. You've got great verbal and kinesthetic intelligence too. A lot of intelligence has been demonstrated in this scene. I didn't mention this, by the way, in my intelligence video, but you could easily analyze this scene and notice a bunch of stuff going that Lucius is demonstrating here. Simple scene, but you learn a lot from it. Anywho, he tells Shirley to, again, pretend like I'm not there. I love the face she makes. She's kind of adorable there. He changes his outfit so they don't recognize him. Eventually, we hear a whole like Black Knight threat. And everyone's getting freaked out by it. He hits the fire alarm again. Everyone's freaking out. Rollo goes in there to find Lelouch, and he's not there. Of course, the OSI unit freaks out. Vlad goes on her own. Eventually, he uses Geass. There's a guy following him. He used Geass on him to give the OSI wrong information. Then he points a gun at Rollo because they both head up to the OSI location. Everyone left to go find him, which Lelouch anticipated, so he can meet Rollo privately in the same location. So he got them out of the location with his little I guess bait. He set bait for them to go find him, which they didn't. Then Lelouch was going to use Geass on Rollo. He stops because Rollo used Geass on him, and he tells Rollo, "If I'll give you C2 if you don't shoot me." And the episode ends with the conflict ends there. Well, it's not over, but that's how they chose to end it. Then Shinji does something really strange. I'm still confused about this to this day. He attacked a bunch of Black Knight members and said, like, I want to take you out, you scum or whatever. I don't know why he did this. I think it's because of Go High. I'm not really sure. But it's a very strange scene. This is cool, though. I mean, look, if you want to see Shinkai being a badass, I mean, full display for you. Other than that, I have no clue what was going on in that scene. All right. Any other points I have before we move on to the comments? Oh, yeah. So I've got a new Varys gun. That was kind of cool when he was fighting the European units, whatever they're called. They're not called gun reuse. That's the Chinese Federation. Schneider praised Saku for his achievements. It's true. Mhm. I think that's everything. Yeah, that's everything. Okay. By the way, someone asked me a question. I want to answer this real quick. I'm going to check the memes. I promise. I promise. After this, we'll check the memes. This person asked, "Have you?" Tell you what, we'll do it right now while we're looking through it. Cause I'm done with the episode. I want to just read the. Okay. Here, we'll check some memes real quick, and then we'll go into. I've seen this one before, by the way. This is a classic meme. This is also on. This was on what's it call it? Shoot, what was the one on? Reddit. I saw that one. That's a very good one. This is a classic. To answer your question, I have watched a bit of Cross Angie. Cross Angie is Code Geass and Evangelion to the extreme on fan service. I just couldn't take the show seriously, but it's extremely etchy. And I think about Cross Angie. One minor note about it. I thought it was cool because you have like mechs fighting dragons or something with magic involved, but man, the show just God, it was so much sex in that. It was just like not just sex, like because sex can be okay in a story. I mean, there's a little bit in the Evangelion, but like the fans there was just so much. I could not. I just couldn't do it. I understand that some people love Cross Angie. Not my favorite though. Definitely not my favorite. Um, okay. Housing 203 was pretty amazing. Had very interesting ideas. Yeah, I was watching little parts of it. A lot of swearing, which I always appreciate. Okay, next. British Japanese anime. These are classics, man. This is a classic meme. One of my favorites. This is yeah, because Lelouch looks more Japanese than Suzaku does. Very that's very true. They could Australia. I don't know. They don't really explain that one. It's a good question, Dark Lord. They don't really explain it. I wish they did though. Mago was more big bad than Nemesis. What else we got here? Ooh, lawfully good. Yes. Neutral good. Um, I guess so. Chaotic good. Yep. True neutral. Pretty much. Although she did support Luce towards the end. Chaotic neutral. Wouldn't it be chaotic good? Um, lawful neutral. Lawful evil. Chaotic evil. I don't know about these two. Most of these I think are correct though. Um, I've seen one too. You're filling there with terrorists, pizza, butt, and best girl. Unfortunately, a massive hypocrite. Okay, no, that one. Badass fan service plot device. Tropicana. Too wholesome for the show. Avid table effort and poor man's Dio. Poor man's Dio. That's true. He's a poor man's Dio. Let's see. Australia seems to be a neutral place because it's great. Yep, I love Shirley. Bird dying more power to it. Yeah, look, I get the whole the ramifications of her dying, but it'd been cool though. As a hypothetical. Yeah, she is awesome in a costume. Smug C2 is best C2. Shirley's kind of Shirley kind of did the same thing Millie did with Colin. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Shirley kind of did the same thing what Millie did with Colin. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think I know. I think what the like the bathtub scene. Maybe that's not what you're referring to. I guess they never went for it. Who the hell knows? Yeah, I don't know. It's just again her behavior with her is just kind of odd. I'm not sure what the whole thing about it was. Yeah. Shirley gets from everybody. It's pretty bad. What outfit is he wearing? I think he was a magician. I don't think he was a vampire. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If it had a Geass shrine, they would have conquered it. Remember, they were conquering all the different locations, so I don't think there was a Geass shrine there. But that's a good point. Imagine how weird it is to remember having different personalities, so minor differences they are. It's like Attack on Titan all over again. Ooh, Attack on Titan. That gets into weird territory. Roll is killing the team. Yeah, that's right. Red versus blue. Good stuff. That was a fun show back in the day. I think C2 made Colin a bunny girl just to make fun of her, knowing that it really was necessary. That's probably what it was, yeah. Because she always does. Can teenagers buy wine? Wasn't Luce 18 at this point? Hold on. Let's check it. Let's check it before you wreck it. I thought he was 18 at this point. And in Japan, that's legal age to get alcohol. I know in America it's 21. Let me just make sure. I'm pretty sure Lucius is 18 by R2. A year has passed. Yeah, he's 18, so he's legal age to buy alcohol. In case you're wondering. Next question. I mentioned across Angie. Um, I'll give the recap movies credit. They actually have Saku ask Bismarck why Charles Geass the student council instead of not bringing up at all in R2. The explanation wasn't good though, but that's a good point. Um, how would you rank C2's love interest, C2 Colin and Shirley? Oh, love interest between all of them. Um, this is hard. I think Lelouch showed the most interest in C2 because he literally went up. He approached her at the end of R2. With Shirley, he said at one point he might have had some feelings towards her, but after he erased his memories, he wasn't sure. But I think at one point he did like her a lot. Colin is the most ambiguous because he expressed he cared about her, like her life and stuff, and also her safety in context, like when she was captured by the Britannia forces. But beyond that, I don't know if beyond that he really showed that same level he did to Shirley and C2. So I think Colin, at least from Lucius' point of view, seemed like the lowest. It's just hard to say because he doesn't really state his feelings in general. The only thing we have, he told Colin to live, and everyone kind of uses that as like the main source, which I kind of do as well. I don't use the whole thing he told her in turn 7 when he was like, you must console me. I don't use that at all. I think that was that was not great. Next meme: gay by lesbian, distinguished, functional, disaster. What is that from? That's from a picture drama. Um, that's from I think one of the end credits. That one also end credits. That's the cross dressing. What is this one from? That's funny though. That's actually pretty amazing. Um, Nelly's great Emmy was the stairs all along. Yes, I saw this video actually, and it made me laugh. It was the stairs. Very true. I know the stairs in the blind was always the funniest thing. All ho Britannia, you were best by Lelouch. Yeah, this is very true. I was watching this video. I think last week I was like, man, that's who does put stairs. I guess Schneisel didn't like Nelly that much. I'm tired of people saying Luch isn't smart because everyone is dumb. Dude, Luch has every time his face an army that will eventually completely overwhelm him, so he has to be wise when forming an army. Yeah, I don't get it. It's whatever. It's one of those things where you just kind of have to. I don't know. There's so much evidence the other direction that you kind of have to almost not want to see it at this point. C2 is number 1, Shirley number 2 because she's nice and cares for Luch. Colin number 3 because there's so much stuff that never gets discussed and need more development. Yeah, that's kind of what I was going with too. I did check the memes. If you submit more, we'll take a look at it. If Luch never became Zero, he would have had a simple but happy life, looking over Natalie and dating Shirley. Probably. That'll be my conclusion as well. Think Geass ever reveals Shinkei's curse? Well, he's dead in the new film, so no, I guess not. Charles must be eating a lot of steak. Yeah, Charles is a fatty. I recommend Honkai Impact game slash story. Honkai Impact. All right, I'll put a note. Honkai Impact. I feel like Australia has to be a strong nation for some sort because I feel like there's a lot going on. It keeps them away from Britannia. Or there's no value, but yeah. Don't forget about Luch's other interests. Love Suzaku. I don't know about that one. But some people do ship that. In America, you can get alcohol at 17 before Prohibition. The UK is around 15, 16. And with the honorary Britannia Empire not really changing much since the colonial days, I'd say 14 to 15. Okay, so even more so. A lot of people think that Luch and C2 act like a bickering couple. I personally think that Luch and Saku acted like a bitter exes. Ooh. Interesting. It's very interesting. They're definitely ex-friends. I'll say that much. How many people do you think want to be Lelouch? I'm not sure what you mean by that. You mean like in context to like in real life? I don't know. Not me. I wouldn't want to be Lelouch. There's obviously other reason. Annual Z recapture. No, there's nothing on Z Recapture. It's finished. I mean, just kidding. There's some people say it's going on. It's like production and stuff, but I don't know. I don't see any proof of that. That's just what some people are saying. I don't know. I don't think that's true. But hey, look, if you want to say it, it is what it is. Okay. If more memes come up, we'll check them out. Let me close this really quick. All right. How are we doing, by the way? How are my cakes? That's not bad, actually. 6K is not bad. All right. Before we play the story, actually, hold on. I got to go home first. Yeah. If you're playing the Geass code, by the way, definitely use this app. It's very good. Uh, Laura Tem recommended it to me, and it's very helpful. It doesn't have any issue. I have to pay a fee every month to use it, but at least unlike the other app, it actually works. So it's fantastic for translating. Definitely recommended. Okay. Have we seen this Reddit post? I don't know what Reddit post. Did you post it here? Anyways, if okay, what else we got here? Oh, okay. I'll take a look at it. Will they ever expand the original timeline lore? Probably not, unless they redo it. Have you seen this Reddit post? What Reddit post? If you post a link, it won't show it because the game sucks. I mean, because YouTube sucks. Um. Okay, we're gonna summon real quick, and then I'm gonna finish the birthday story. So here's the new menu screen, by the way, that they just released. It has I'll take a screenshot while I can. It's got the new look for Lush. This is his main pose, and that's the alternative, the right next door. This is a I believe, what is this? What's Lush's no, not this. He is a king intelligence officer, I think. Oh, you want to get Lush? He's got more options to get him too. All right. Well, I guess it can't hurt. He's a powerful character. Um, Hold on. I think someone just posted what it was. Love is power. Yes, Lush understood that the hard way. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm gonna do one summoning. It's not gonna go well because this game sucks, but we'll do it. We're gonna do one summoning. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Okay, anyone good from it? Okay, Gigi. C2? Whoa! What the hell? What the hell? Are we gonna get a 4-star? Huh? Okay, this looks good. This is promising. We are gonna get a I don't know if we're gonna 4-star or not. I don't think so. Bunch of greens. Are you serious? You oh god. This game loves to piss me off. My goodness. Freaking Yukia. No one asked for you, buddy. Yay. Euphemia. I mean, it's good. Euphemia is pretty powerful. But she's kind of creepy, though. If I'm being completely honest here. Piss off, detard. Ogie, okay. Guilford. Ah. I can take all the Cecile all day. Futaba. More Yukia, because Valletta. She's a good character. Are you kidding me? They teased the 4? I don't hate Detard. It's just that I wanted. I knew it would happen. I knew it. All right, I gotta stop complaining like a 5-year-old. I am pissed though. Can you download a game for OS? You probably could. I haven't tried it. I mean, this is an emulator for an Android. Yeah, it's available for iOS. If you have a I don't know how it works for Apple, but I guess if you have an Apple account that's not locked in America, I would imagine it works the same way as um, the same way as Google. I think that's how it would work. It's hard to download Jesuit code. Not really. If you use the instructions I gave in my video, it's pretty easy. If you use an emulator, and Android works the same too. All right, we're gonna do one more because I want to end on a good note. So we're gonna get a rank 4 character. I don't care who it is. It can be anybody. Here we go. I don't care who the rank 4 is. Yeah, rank 4. Anyone will work for this case. I can't believe they baited me with that crap, though. They showed C2 and they showed Gigi, and they didn't get a 4 out of it. This was the same expression, too, by the way. This game's full of crap. They give me a 4 on that one. Unbelievable. I took the bait. Always take the bait. I don't care who it is. I just want to rank. I want a new character. I don't care who it is at this point. Who is it? Well, another duplicate. Jesuit code? Go piss off. Unbelievable. This game, man. Unbelievable. I have the worst gosh darn luck in the history of everything. I mean, I've seen people who their first draw get like Lelouch, the new Lelouch, Colin, whatever. Me, I'm stuck with a bunch of duplicate threes of Yukia, of freaking Yukia. Oh my fucking god. Okay, well, can I upgrade them? No, I don't have enough duplicates for that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. At this point, I'm just wondering, why do you even bother trying? What a waste of my time with this. Anyways, we'll go through the story now. Let's just like any. I got so many duplicates. I just want a new character. Is that so hard? Was that so much to ask? Yeah, the tomato basket. Nice. Oh my god. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now? I'm gonna play through the last story. Yeah, I know. I saw that too. I saw this crap. Unbelievable. Okay, I'm gonna show the story now. I'll take out my face because I don't want to have to record it again. But I'll be talking through it, so it's not gonna be. I won't be completely gone. But anyway, let's go through this. All right. So the story. Actually, before I do this, the story so far has been this. Basically, Lelouch is having a birthday, and obviously, and everyone, the student council, is getting the members of the different Geass characters together from different universes and timelines. We've seen different pairings of characters. Cornelia with like what was it? Cornelia, Ayano, and someone else, and then you have like Tamaki and Ogi, and Tamaki and Toto, and I think Akito, and also Totsuya. This is a bunch like that. They put different characters together they thought would make sense, even though most of them didn't. The last one was the most insulting, which I'll release this week. It had like Nully and Mao talking. I'm like, Mao and Nully should never be talking after what happened. But Nully was like, I forgive you. I want you to do this. I'm like, Nully, you're a nice person. You're not that nice, okay? You're not that nice. Anyhow, though, this is the conclusion of the party. Basically, everyone's been invited to the celebration. They're all going to be there, even though half of them don't know who Lelouch is, but it is what it is. And Lelouch found out about Nully might be at a certain area, so he's going to go and investigate. That was basically a cue to get him to go to the party. So that's where we're at. Here is the story now. This is the last part. It is called Secret Birthday. Mao was a tragic character, yes. ギギのやつがオリオン座がナナリーの相手のヒントだと言っていたが、明確な手がかりがつかめない。Gigi said the Orion guy was a hint at Nully's opponent. I don't get a clue. There's not information. So this is what happened. They were at the Siege World, and he was sent off to go find Nully. That's why he's here. Here's the curate. She's one of the people working with the archive and Gigi. They're They're part of the Janissary Code time, I guess, an observer team, the Curato. Ah, you know who I am. Yes. Your hair is kind of funny looking. Yes, what's that? He said he borrowed it from the library. This is all the constellations. Interesting. I'm not sure what he means by that. I'm hoping this conversation will be actually a little better than what I thought, but it's hopefully they actually discuss interesting things because I mean these are people who are in charge of I don't know about Geass, but the world and time and stuff. So you would think this would be a more in-depth conversation, I guess. Some useful material. I'll go to the library and find other stuff. Okay, I guess. What's he looking for? I wonder. I'm surprised Rennie isn't like Dash. Alderin, Emperor Luce, Orpheus Luce, Zero Emperor Luce, Akito Julius. I don't know who this is. If you want to grab like you should play Call of Duty or anything EA. Yeah, EA is the worst. I'm not even gonna lie. Is Janissary Code grinding like FGO? I'm not sure what FGO is. It's a gotcha game, and yeah, there's a lot of grinding involved. That's very true. Oh, I have to couple things. Get rid of these two. I don't want to show that during the gameplay. Good thing I just noticed that. That would really bad. I'll have to remove that later. Okay. There's a lot of grinding in Janissary Code. That is 100% accurate. Why? Why not? Good question. You can't go to the library and pick up books? Why not? It should be allowed. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. That was really intelligent stuff there. Just let him go to the library, man. Don't fight Luch. If Luch wants to read, let him read. Yeah, why can't he go to the library? Oh, I think it's because of the party. They don't want him to, find out what's going to happening. There's the archive, the other member of this group. Wait, I'm ready. Archival. Lucius' voice is so deep in this story. Get ready. I'm going to the library. I don't think we've seen these two characters together yet in the story, which is I like Archive and the Curate. It was hard to keep Lelouch. Yeah, because of the party. They were trying to stall him. What are you talking about? Let's go to the library. What is this? What are you saying? What the hell? It's okay. Please go inside. Understood. Okay. There it is. Happy birthday to Luch. Here's all the people there. Again, half of them don't know who he even is, which is funny. C2's pose is so insulting. I just can't take it. Why would they make her look like that? Oh, I'm uncovering Kiki's head. I'll move that up there. Yeah, everyone was waiting for him as a celebration. That reminds me of the place Anakin was walking up to the massacre of all the Jedi people. It was a Jedi Order, I think. Damn, that's a terrible comparison. So they're all wishing him happy birthday, obviously. Happy birthday! Hey, turd day. Hi. Welcome, brother. Yes. Nunnally. What's going on here? Everyone, guys. I did see the birthday live stream. You mean on Janissary Code? I did watch it. Yes, it was pretty good. Yeah. Al always says yeah in this story. Yeah. Are you okay? Did they all just talk with no voices? That's funny. Happy birthday, Lush. Okay, yes. That'd be mine too. Like, who are these people? It's really funny. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, his expression is pretty funny. Yeah, it's your birthday. Who else, Einstein? Oh wait, she's in the room. My bad. I can't say that joke. They were secretly planning. They convinced a bunch of strangers from different time zones and universes to come to this one party just for you, Lelouch. We defied all logic and reason just so they have this party. Great success. I like. Not only you did this for me. The hint of Orion. Yeah, the belt. I think it was Zaku's birthday, right? That's what we were saying, July or something. A long time ago when I saw Summer Sky, did you forget Orion when we talked to Nunnally? Oh. December. Right. That's what they were saying, right? That's right. But again, I'm not sure what it has to do with like the overall birthday. Well, my brother had forgotten our precious memories. Once my brother had forgotten our precious memories. See, what's weird in this story is that the characters will like say things from the future when it makes no sense. For example, they mentioned how Ogi was prime minister, or what was the other one that was like kind of weird? I forgot what it was. I was like, wait, why would they know that this is R1 timeline since Nina's hair is not how it was in R2, but Collins is wrong. But whatever. Everyone, guys, you did this for me. Yes, we did it for you. Oh. December 5th is Lucia's birthday. Yes, it is. See, I'm impressed later. The party won't start unless the protagonist says something. Of course. Right, I'll say something. What should I say? Thank he wanted everyone get out of this place. I guess he's thanking them. Thank you. Yeah, they kind of are. That's the weird part. They are. The question was, are they getting the continuity mixed up a little bit? Yeah, it's a little bizarre. Or's reaction to Lucius party, he doesn't know them. Are they going to? Yeah, it's weird. Google Translate would probably do better than the game translate. That's a good question. I don't know. I'll get that up at some point. The part 2 of the story. This is technically part 3. The part 2 has already been filmed. I just forgot. I'm still editing it and stuff. Okay, Tamagi should be responding like this because Lelouch, this is so weird. Tamagi being here makes no sense. Same with Ogi, because they didn't know he was. I don't know. It's so weird. You have to turn your brain off to accept this because it's just like I enjoy the moment. I think the art is good here, and I like seeing all the characters together, but it doesn't make any sense in context to. Okay, this is a strange pairing. Does Orpheus even say anything about like the whole situation in Oz's reflection? Nothing. Maribel's my sister, right? Who's Maribel? Hmm. I don't know. It's strange. They don't even bring up their past. Are you going somewhere? I want to see all the rest of the guests. The people who made this party for me. Yeah, it's fan service. Oh, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying it's just I don't know. I guess I have to just forget about it. Well, he teleported. I guess he has V2 powers. Oh. This pose was V2. It's just so annoying. This is actually a really nice tender moment between the characters. I actually really enjoyed this. T2 is very enthusiastic. What are you talking about? I mean, early on she wasn't, but eventually, yes. Hmm. I think he did. Yes, he did. Ah means yes. Still was weird seeing Mal at that party, though. Maybe you didn't get Geass. Did you want to spend your days surrounded by friends like that? Oh, that's kind of an interesting question. Similar to what they said end of R2. You know, if I used Geass on you, did I ruin your life? Do you want a future that didn't happen? Nope. Okay, he chose his path. That's why. Yeah, see? Look at that. I don't know Japanese, and I got that right. I just know the character. That's why he said that. He's grateful. C2, now kiss him, like you did in the original series. Or we're going to in the original series. Lelouch. Geass got me on the right path, I believe, is what he's going to say here. For Geass and for you. Ooh. Really? Oh. Yes. Wait, we don't see their moments together? That's lame. Also, hold on a second. I'll check my mic real quick. Make sure I'm not ruining the sound here. Um, okay. Will the game come out internationally? Probably not. I mean, Lost Colors never did. Yeah, see, that's the problem. I don't want like complete crap on this, but you make a very good point. How come they don't have interaction with the character we wanted to see? You know, I'm hoping that the next iteration of the main plot has that. But you're right, it's very strange. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good point though. Oh. Yeah, Al does blush a lot. What do you mean? This is a strange pairing. Rivel and Ayano. I don't see any connection between the two of these characters. Is there area around? Isn't the area around Tamaki broken up anyways? What? Ayano knows Tamaki? They are Japanese. That's their only connection, though. Ooh, we got Arthur. I wish I got him instead of Lelouch. Man, the summoning was awful today. Ashley doesn't even know who Lelouch is. It's pretty funny. Don't say crazy. It's quite heavy, this. I'm not sure what they're talking about, to be fair. Oh. See, even he's confused. Carry what? Yeah, what are we carrying? I'm Darth Maul, by the way, in this Kogi-ass universe. See my lightsaber? I'm literally Darth Maul. It combines my other one. Oh, a special seat for Lelouch. Okay. Lloyd. Lloyd. Alcoon, I'm ready. Excellent. Ooh, Kyo. I think his name is. Or Rio, I mean. Ah, there's Renya. Our good buddy. Let's get started. Here's the thing. No one in this story even thinks so. Don't worry about it. There are so many characters that could be recognized as other people that this story just blatantly ignores. I'm not sure why, but that was the design decisions made here. The climax of tonight. Very nice. Fire technique, go. See, never get some fireworks. Yes, it's fireworks, Lelouch. You know what those are. You launched in turn 7. Fireworks. Yes, it's fireworks. Come on, man. Ah, Totsia. What's up, guys? I'm back from using my nightmare to kill some people. Holmes made it. Holmes? Who's that guy? You know, he looks like Sherlock Holmes. Huh? Yeah, I'm confused too. Don't worry, Lush. I'm just as lost as you are. I told Arthur to make some fireworks. Apparently he's an inventor in this story. I'm not sure. He's like inventor Holmes instead of, Sherlock. Yeah, see, inventions. He's not really a detective. I think Arthur's talented. Make something that explodes. That's pretty funny because actually that makes sense because Yukiya is kind of obsessed with that stuff too. Oh, speed of characters who make things explode. Here's Nina. Yeah, tell Nina to piss off. We don't want her involved. We just want to make fireworks, not a nuclear bomb. Well, we got the fireworks. Oh yeah, that time when they said they would do it again with him. This is a very nice image. I won't lie. This is actually a really nice image of them all just watching the fireworks. Because you remember in R2, they promised Lelouch promised they would do it again. So in this little scene here, they actually do it again. Yeah, see, I can't feel my promise at that time in this way. That's nice, actually. I'll admit, the most of the story was pretty crap, but I won't lie. Lulu after that. Yeah, what about Lulu after that? The gathering was also another opportunity. Yes? What kind? Nina, again, no one cares. But thanks to everyone, we can see the fireworks together. Yeah, it's nice. Even though, what's kind of weird about this, again, I don't mean to be a dick, but the whole firework thing, though, was a reference to R2. But everyone here is acting in their R1 form, so I'm very confused as to what timeline this game is following. But beyond that, I still enjoy this. Also, there's Arthur, who's a cat. Yes. Arthur has lines? Are you serious? Arthur has lines in this? Wow. Unbelievable. They literally wasted text to make Arthur say meow. Unbelievable. I wish I had done this. Well, we're doing it now. Or hadn't done this? Why is everyone so upset? Where's the party? Brother, Misama. I didn't feel like I was alive until I got the power of Geass. That's true. Let's see. Yep, this is actually what we were talking about before. I went too fast with that one. Yep, cursed mosquito, huh? Those darn cursed mosquitoes. This is basically his dialogue at the end of the first episode in R1, episode 1, R1 episode 1, and also turn 1 as well. Everyone together again. You're welcome, Lelouch. We appreciate it. What's up next, Zaku? What do you got to say for yourself? Lelouch. Yes? Natalie. It's your plans a surprise party for me. Of course, she'd do anything for Lelouch. Because she loves her. Or does she hate him? I'm not going to bring that up in this video here. Of course. I'm not sure what's going on here. Oh? They gave this weird birthday outfit. I'm not sure. I'm still not sure what the significance of this is. What's with this costume? Feels like protagonist. This almost hurts because I couldn't even unlock him with the one summoning I did. Why are they making him wear this outfit? I don't know. It's... You're all laughing. Al's laughing. It's a silly outfit, let's be honest. I'm sure the character was fun to use, but like... Ling, so get dressed, Lelouch. Why are they making him wear this outfit? It's so weird. Don't push. Of course, Lelouch still doesn't question who the heck Al Gigiara. He just acts like it's just normal. It's funny, but also I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. Make of it. And yeah, that's it. That's the whole birthday party. That was like what, maybe 20 minutes, I guess. It wasn't worth doing a whole video based on it. But yeah. I didn't think I had to do one. I think that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. Okay. That's the whole birthday celebration. Let me read some comments real quick. Go to World C2. Alright, let's see. Okay. Who would win a fight? Tazaku or Renya? Ooh, Renya. Renya has supernatural abilities. Tazaku, hold on, let me, F11. Definitely Renya, especially if we're talking Renya with his max arm. Yeah, definitely. Tazaku can dodge Nightmare shooting at him, yes, but understand that Renya's power isn't just a laser beam that shoots in one direction. He can cover an entire area. So if Tazaku gets close to him, he can absorb energy from an entire area, like he did to like he defeated Victoria, who no offense to Suzaku, but Victoria could probably whip his butt with that special weapon she had, where it was like a whip that could like shoot winds that were stronger than what is that? The wind nightmare. Damn it, I can't remember all these names. Anyways, that guy's name, the power of her wind was superior to his, and I was a enhanced human being. So no, Zaku could not defeat Renya in a fight. Absolutely not. Why do you have Neil deGrasse Tyson in your background? This is the question that people have wanted to know. Actually, no one's ever asked. The reason I have Neil deGrasse Tyson in my background is because I respect him a lot. He hasn't influenced my life directly because I've never met him, which is unfortunate because he's really smart and probably a privilege. But Neil deGrasse Tyson, he really is. I'm inspired by his ability to explain things in a simplistic manner. He can break down any complicated concept to its basic elements that even a layman can understand. He's very articulate, successful, everything I want to be in life. So I emulate him. Plus, he's very funny. A brilliant individual. His impact in the role will be remembered for a long time. His books are quite phenomenal. But I'm just in awe of the way he can explain things in such a simplistic manner. I've been trying to look at him and other intellectuals on that same level to grasp the ability to take a difficult concept and break it down to its most basic elements. And Neil deGrasse Tyson does it for me. And plus, he's a very positive guy. That's why. There's a lot more to it, but that's like, in a nutshell, that's what it is. Nice. That's kind of the that's kind of what's going on with that. It's not just Ryan. His arm is so OP. Wait, is after 2? I thought it was after 1 because Gino doesn't know Luch was. Yeah, it's so weird. I don't know. It's bizarre. Yeah, they're like these responses. By the way, this is I don't know. I don't know every line in this series, but I know like basically what might have been said. I can't remember. My memory is not that great. I can put my face back on now. We're done with the video. Happy birthday. Yep. I need image evolution in that suit. I mean, technically, when the video's out, you can always take a screenshot. I don't know if I think they might have something on the Twitter page too, if you're interested in like the whole thing. Okay, back to I think there were some memes that were posted. Ah, yes. When this scene came up, yeah, great scene. One of the best scenes in the story. Okay, what time is it? Like 10 o'clock? Well, 10 o'clock my time. I'm not sure what time it is your time there. Is this game basically a gacha? Basically, no, it is a gacha. It's a slot machine. Zaku will lose against random characters. He would definitely lose against Victoria, Barbaros, and the Nightmares because they're all enhanced humans. Zaku is very powerful for a human being, but when it comes to the Nightmares, which were enhanced humans, there's no way. It's not even a matter of bullets at this point. It's just like in a hand-to-hand combat. I just don't see him winning. Although Alto did defeat Barbaros, but he had a really powerful weapon, so I guess Zaku could beat Barbaros, but I don't think he could beat Renya or Victoria. And definitely not the Knight of One. Christopher Chamberlain, I believe? That guy would mess up Suzaku. Heck, he mess up most people. That guy was a monster. Yeah, it's not even carry. It's a little out of place for sure. But seriously, I need that outfit. Well, the shonen characters, what do you expect, pretty much? Why is Mao there? There's some people that shouldn't be there. Yeah, Mao being at the party made no sense because Mao ruined their lives. That's why the story also made no sense. They had like Mao there, they had Tamaki there, like people who don't know Lelouch, like legitimately don't know him. See, if they had just had people who interacted with Lelouch in the past and had some connection to him, I'd say that's fine, makes sense, right? Don't just throw people in there for the sake of throwing people in there. It's super bizarre. Yeah, basically. Who did Charles love? I think really nobody except for Marianne. V2 is like, let's make a world of Fault lies. 50 years later, he lies. Isn't that great? Don't you love the irony? It's wonderful stuff. I can't even argue. It's true. I can't argue against that. Oh, I can build this one too? Huh? Aw. What's the problem? Why can't I upgrade this? That's weird. What the hell's going on here? Yeah, why can I... Huh? There's no, Wait. Hold on. Am I an idiot? Oh, don't ask. I'm half asleep. You could totally do this. I'm like, what's going on here? Okay, I have to level my buildings because then I get more memories. I use memories to level my rest of my the rest of my stuff. That was a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Oh, you know what? Maybe tomorrow I can get this one finished. We'll see how much memories I collect in the morning. Anywho, that was the story. I mean, it wasn't the greatest thing ever. It definitely was there to push an agenda. By the way, this is the they made a code link that actually has all three characters on it from that thing we just watched. Here's the other one you get also in the event. It's pretty cool. I wish they had showed this one earlier because I won't be able to fully upgrade it before the event is finished, which is really bullcrap. But whatever, it is what it is. Oh, I got some more Nunnally. Oh, I got a lot of Nunnally. Lots of Nunnally. Let me go upgrade these while I still can. Or while I can. Light Yagami versus Suzaku? Oh, wait, first thing. I wish there was more dialogue between Akito, Renya, Alder, and Orpheus. Yeah, there was like nothing. It was garbage. I hope in the future they'll throw more in there. But right now, yeah, there was absolutely nothing. I was extremely frustrated with the story. I want to see interaction with... I mean, if you're making a story that has like JoJo Eyes of Heaven or Into the Spider-Verse, or whatever story you think of that has like characters from different universes interacting, and you only have new characters interacting, and that's it. I mean, what are you doing? You want the new and the old to talk. Light Yagami versus Suzaku. In strength, Suzaku would win. However, if Light knows about his identity, then Suzaku is probably dead, because he can write his name down in Death Note and kill him. So it really depends on what we're talking about in context to who'd win a fight. If we're talking physically, Suzaku hands down. If we're talking about just to death, everything's on the table, then Light would win. Animation Ball Zero Capture, you probably know more than I do, which means nothing. Meaning like there's no details. I don't know. I feel like Suzaku would win because he wouldn't be able to keep up with the speed. I'm not sure what that means. I mean, like in context to what exactly? Because if they're we're talking about Light, because Light can do the Death Note. They're not going to fight physically, unless you meant. I'm not sure actually. I'm not even going to speculate. By the way, I need that pose Luch makes the game. They're quite cool. Yeah, there's definitely some good stuff here. The art in this game, I've been crapping this game since it came out, but I'll be the first to tell you the art in this game is beautiful, and it's the only reason why, besides the story, I even enjoy playing this game. It's like a love-hate, mostly hate, but some love. Yeah, because the art in this game is fantastic. It's just the rest of it is just, oh my god. Yeah, they don't show up except for Luch and yeah, and even then it was what was actually was going on there? Nothing, you know. I feel like the Suzaku fight Light Yagami would be cool. You know, whatever line. I kind of know you were talking about the context behind the lines, but I don't necessarily know what everyone says. That's impossible. And by the time I'm done the episode, I'll probably forget anyways, because there's just so much. There's so many things I gotta cram into my brain. It can be kind of frustrating. That's actually a pretty good. That's a pretty good level up right there. That's not bad. Usually I don't get lucky with my my draws. I mean, they make the level up in this game a freaking It's a how do I put this? It's an RNG pool, which it shouldn't be, which is so irritating. But whatever. These are the Geass children. They're not very highly valued links, so I get rid of them. These are the Glinda Knights, if you guys are aware of that. I'm talking about the anime show and subbed or dubbed. Light Yagami's in context to Saku's speed. Yeah, I'm not sure, like, he couldn't, like, stop him in time before he writes his name down the Death Note. I don't think even Saku would know he was writing his name in the Death Note. Now I'm thinking about things that I don't think. Thinking about things I don't think. I don't know. Maybe. As Ultraman or Akito becomes stronger. You mean in my game? I got Akito to 80. Ultraman is still 50. She's just not good in this game. I mean, you guys know, or the ones who have watched, Ultraman gets like her butt kicked in this game all the darn time. It's not worth it. I'm going to upgrade a different character and just kind of let her be. She's an awesome character in her story in her own right, but for some reason in this game, she's just not that good. I mean, even Ayano is better. Ayano like really destroys people in this game. Like I don't want to show gameplay footage. I have to save up for the cake stuff. But man, Ayano destroys everybody in this game when you get her to a certain level. Although I say that, and actually most recently she got owned. But wow, there are so many duplicates. Anyways, I don't mind Abysmo, but man, I don't want these duplicates, but I get them anyways because I guess screw you. Is what it is. I don't. Yeah, but Suzaku can dodge bullets. I don't think Light Yagami. We know Light Yagami can't dodge bullets, right? I mean, Light. How do I put this? Light got shot by what's his name, Matsuda. I don't think he can dodge bullets, and Suzaku can dodge bullets, and not just normal bullets. Like we're talking like from a machine gun level. So it's pretty crazy. Suzaku is pretty OP in terms of his physical abilities. Alright. Did I sell every one I had? Ooh, I can level this up. Very nice. Let's go. You gotta constantly get these upgraded. By the way, this is Dash. He's the only appearance in the game is in a code link so far. For now. See, that's Dash. Not Mrs. Dash, but there was a Mrs. Dash. He was trying to resurrect her because she was in a coma. She was in a coma. All right. Oh, I got another Rollo I have to grab here. And I think I'll have like 3 Rollos. Nice. Okay. All right. Let's go back. I think I got them all. Up, up, up. Yes, I got them all. Awesome. So yeah, so to my characters, so you were asking, because now we can go back to it. So Akito's level 80. He's actually pretty up there. I kind of abandoned him a little bit because I've been focusing all my efforts on a specific set of people. I know I've really improved a lot. She's pretty powerful. Zero I've done a little bit on. I've done almost nothing with Olerin. I don't know. She's just not that great. I mean, if I level these stats up, maybe she would be better, but I don't know. The problem with Olerin, I don't feel any real desire to want to use her in the game. Especially this guy, who apparently this is an elite attacker. He's not like Colin level, but he's pretty good though. So I wanted to focus on him going forward. Oh, I guess we could do this one at least. I made her abilities a little stronger. Basically, when you get duplicates, you can improve this ability, which I'm not sure what this even is, so let's go translate it. Increase the effective ammo by 35 seconds, by 35% for 7 seconds. Taste for another 10 seconds. Recovers all HP all the time. That's pretty good. Euphemia is really powerful. She's like the strongest mage in the game, even though there are no mages. But like in Geass, there are no like mages, if that makes any sense. Don't forget, Suzaku can jump pretty high from that open. Yeah, that's right. He could dodge bullets. Someone sucker shoots in the back like that pussy soldier. Yeah, that's true. Luge states he has inhuman strength, so no way Light could get him. Don't forget, Suzaku could jump crazy. Yeah, he can. Who was the first person you got in the game? Well, the first person you get in the game is it's Al and Gigi. But I believe this is actually the order. Yeah, this is the order. Because you see how I have Kyo, I think, and Ashley. This is the order. So if I go back, it was Al, Gigi, Guilford, Cecile, and Sayako. This was the order. I got Luge pretty early on in the game. But, yeah, see, I don't have close to... I got Luge very early on in the game. And Nunnally. And Futaba I was really excited about. I like her character. So that was a pretty good one. Zero I got much later because I didn't realize what I was doing in the game. The latest person I got was this guy. He's a pretty good character. I think anyways. Let me can I get Al to next level? Oh, let's do it. So I don't have enough kings? Oh, I do actually. I'll think about it later. Can I get Olerin to 80? Just I'm not gonna do it. I'm just wondering. Can I get her to 80 if I wanted to? I could. With some despair too. Oh, very little though. I'm not doing it. Okay. Yeah, you know it's funny. You joke about this, but I've gotten so many Lelouch duplicates. I'm gonna make a compilation. Maybe I'll make a compilation at some point of every summon I've done in this game. And you can see how many times I get freaking duplicates of Lelouch. I mean, at this point, and I don't even want Totsuya, okay? Let's be clear. I don't want Totsuya. I can't stand his character. I mean, I don't know him. I guess I should point. I don't know his character that well. But I'll take anyone because the problem with this game is that you need to have bodies to get tickets. And I don't have enough characters now to get more tickets because if you look at the the roster. So, these 4, I don't have rainbows from. Actually, what's her intimacy? I actually shouldn't speak too soon. What's her intimacy level? Doesn't it tell you? I think she's 10. So, I really have these 3 I have not gotten, and I believe that's it. Yeah, they're the only 3 characters. I can get 3 more tickets from these guys, and then every week you get a rainbow ticket. A compilation of duplicates and fails. Pretty much. If you want to see fails, just watch someone gambling at the EA system. Yeah, those loot boxes are so messed up. Oh, to an earlier point. Yeah. Yuffie is a healer in the game, which makes no sense because there's like no magic in Code Geass. But no, I think Yuffie's a buffer, and I think not only is a healer in the game. Actually, it should be more accurate. I always get Lelouch though. It's like it's sickening at this point. Was Al good in the game? I don't know, but there's an item that was made for him that I want to use at some point. Yeah, this one. So maybe he will be good. I mean, he's a king. Kings are awesome. Who should probably like in real life? I don't know. I don't think so. I think he'd probably dispose me with the rest of the trash. He'd be like, I lose command you to praise me to the very end. We hear and obey. I'll go sell this. I don't need that one. Yeah. So that's I'm trying to go these. See, the problem with this story event, I don't mind it because they gave you more opportunities to get cakes. But the problem is, like, I did the math and I have 6,000 cakes now, which is not. You might think it's not much, but to get this item, I need 50,000. I can get 2 more of these to complete the one code link to fully evolve it. So I need 100 and. If I wanted to get everything else for the rest of the game, I would need approximately 350,000, and the rate I get collect cakes is not enough. I'm not sure whether they have a Rivel and a Millie mothership. Like, who would want to use those? If there was a Millie, I would definitely snag the crap out of it. But a Millie and a Rivels is or Rivel, where I pronounce his name. Makes no sense to me. In case you know what I'm talking about, so in Abyss mode here, like I'll show you real quick, you can pick a mothership. So I got a bunch. Basically, each character gives you one. Let me just scroll down. So, Gigi, Al, this is one I got from an event. Let's see, Shirley, Detard, Klaus, Futaba, Toto, Ogi, Sayako, Tamaki, Cecile, Guildford, Valletta. Valletta has seizures, just don't mind her. Let's see, Halloween, Gigi, Yuffie. What is her name? I always forget her name. It's a Kyo? They don't say her name. Awesome. Lux, or Lux. Akita, I think his name is. Ryu, Yukiya, Ayano, Ashley, the whole W0 unit, basically. Gino, Toto, Lloyd, his brother Mao, Nunnally, Jeremiah, Cornelia, Dog Lloyd, I don't even know, and then Zio, Akito, Alderin, Lelouch, and Zero. So why would one have a Rivel or a Nina? Like, why would I ever want them commanding my troops into battle? I also can pick alternate images as well. I always pick Cecile for obvious reasons. So I'm just confused why they would offer her as a It's just really weird. This whole thing's a joke too. Look at this, 130, not 132. Like, there's no way. I'm curious to see online how many people have actually beaten this on the hardest difficulty setting, because I can't do it. It's like this one too, where you can battle like other characters, but again, like, look at this, 118. Yeah, no, thank you. But actually, since we're at that, let me just check one thing. If you can make your teams here, I believe. Yeah, let's go to the best team. This is the birthday squad. Yeah, my best team in this game right now is 110. And these are all 80s, mostly maxed out level. Like, she's maxed out. He's almost maxed out. She's basically maxed out. These two are almost there. And my best team is 110. This shows you how, like, hard this game can be if you want to beat it competitively. Or if you want to play competitively with it. It's crazy stuff. I know with Lelouch you can use the this, but that will probably decrease our battle tendency. So let's not do that. But yeah, so we'll see what happens going forward. I can take a couple more questions, and I think I'll end the stream. This day was really stressful, so I wanted to just go a little longer just because of everything that was going on. Sometimes you can't believe things happen even when they're happening. That reminds me of that line for that movie. What the hell was it? I'm gonna hurt you, and even as like you won't believe it's happening even while it happens or something. And I was like, okay. Why they make Lelouch Zero without the mask? I have no idea. You're asking someone who actually like tries to make sense of this plot. I have no clue. I think they did that because of I don't know. It's weird. There's Zero with the mask, Lelouch without the mask. I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy. I have no clue. Who would I get? Oh, that's random as hell. All right, now I'm done summing for real. I'm really done this time. I'm not saying any more characters. It's addicting. Look, these bastards. I hate to use that term, but that's what they are. No offense to these people. They understood what the hell they're making. They made a freaking slot machine, and they want you to play the damn slot machine. Bastards. So. Okay. Don't worry, we're playing it serious. Does this story take place after Resurrection or before it? It doesn't take place even during. I have no clue. Hopefully when they finish the Ancillary Code story, I can answer that question. Oops, I should actually have these going. I'm like over the place. Right now, I would say it seems to be its own thing because characters in this story don't have memories, or they do, of past events, so it's very confusing. That really didn't answer your question, but I just don't. Does the game have player versus player? No, it does not. That would be the stupidest thing ever. If this game had player versus player, imagine this, right? This is just so you guys know. I'm stuttering like a freaking idiot, like a gopher. But this, just so you know, this game is a pay to win, right? Let me show you something. See this? This is yen. You can pay yen to buy a bunch of items in this game. You could theoretically spend $1,000 in this game, which you shouldn't do. Buy these passes. You get access to all the items, and you can level your characters and unlock them without really doing much work. So, if this game is a pay to win, if you had a player versus player, the player with the most resources would win every time. It'd be complete crap. So I'm glad they don't have player versus player. In fact, they kind of do in one sense, to be honest. They do have one thing. There was a contest that was going on that's over, thank God. But here was the contest. If you got the highest score, you would get a nice prize. You would get this. 5 of a new code link, a SeaWorld creature that had like a top hat for a mothership, 3,000 die, 500,000 energy, and 3 of these very rare items you need to level your characters to max the abilities at 10. Okay, the people who got this score probably put like $2,000 to $3,000 into the game. Well, it's in yen, but like whatever that would be in yen, into the game and played it all day and night, leveled all their characters to get insane scores. Meanwhile, people who actually could use these amounts won't get them anyways. It's such crap. Man, this game frustrates me to no end. Like, look at these scores, right? This was my score, 4 million, 157 million, 157 million. How the hell did they get 157 million? Level 93. I mean, it's disgusting. So, my answer to this is very simple. I just played the game for fun. I want the best items for the game that I can do. My goal is to build a very strong team and just use that for the rest of the game. As you see, I try summoning and the game tells me to piss off. So, you know, you gotta just whatever you're given. That's how this works. So, it's frustrating. I would like to get C2. I mean, of all the characters in the game, I don't have. I really wish I had. It'd be Renya in C2. If I had Renya in C2, I probably wouldn't even summon anymore. Unless, like, maybe Layla was in the game or Shamna. But other than that, I just don't... I wouldn't really care as much. It's just frustrating that... Yeah, I don't know. The whole slot mechanic, it's... Whatever. God dang Yukia. That's all I gotta say. All the damn Yukias. Like, seriously? You could've given me anyone else. You gave me freaking Yukia. So irritating. Let me get to, I love Ashley's alternate outfits. Pictures, I mean. Unlike this one. What a joke. Anyways, yeah, we'll end it here. Well, I'll end it with this photo here. Yeah, there's microtransactions in this game, and yeah, no, I know. I was wondering the same thing because why would I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea. The game, the story is not consistent at all with this because that conversation took place at the end of R2. Why are they having it here? I don't know. It's a good point. I have no clue. Yeah, I think we'll end it here. Thanks everyone who put stuff in the stream memes. I'm glad you guys like that. We'll do it next week as well because I think it's a lot of fun. Yeah, and I guess I'll also say we'll do next episode R2, and I'll record the review of Evangelion tomorrow, and I'll probably post it. It won't be like I do usually, a quick, simple thoughts about it. Evangelion. Although with Evangelion, quick and simple are not words you can use to describe it, but I'll do the best I can. Anyhow, that's gonna do it for the stream. Thanks to everyone who stopped by. Appreciate all the comments. We got a lot of new people, by the way, which thanks for all I think SG group. I don't think I've seen you before, and also MD Raham. I'm not sure if I've seen you either, but thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Are you gonna show me tutorials for Janissary code? Tell you what, leave suggestions in this video when I'm done streaming. Leave suggestions in the comments of like what tutorials you'd be interested in seeing, because I don't know. Most of the game is pretty simplistic. There are some, I guess, less obvious ones, but generally speaking, the game is pretty simplistic. Yeah, leave suggestions, and I'll consider making some. They're not hard to do in terms of tutorials because I just record the game and show you guys footage. But yes, anyhow, yeah, leave the suggestions there. Thanks everyone for stopping by in the stream, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Have a good week. We're in December. It's the holiday season, so take care, guys. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.